the stream, everybody. How's it going? Sorry I'm late. Stuff does happen, and stuff did happen, but I'm here now, and we're ready to go. I'm ready to go. Are you? This is a little dim again. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, let's do this. And I am happy to inform you that we're gonna do as many. Whenever there's PC matchmaking streams that would happen, they're going to happen. We're gonna do them next week, and on maybe not that Tuesday right before the Thursday launch, but maybe we'll do it anyway. I don't see why not. You know, we can do some builds where it's like, okay, here's the build, but swap out the new thing if it's good, or we can do 7800 X3Ds. They said mid-August for the microcode update for Intel. Maybe that'll come out and be good, I guess, and Intel fanboys can rejoice. I imagine that's a slightly shrinking demographic at the moment, though, but I'm using it. I'm still using Intel right now. It's working okay since I got the update. But what's up, everybody? Thank you for being patient with me. I do appreciate that. Of course, I finally get ready to stream, and I'm like, okay, gonna make it right at 9, and that's good. Okay, stressed out a little bit, but then my face cam doesn't show up, and I have to fiddle with that. It's really I don't know what the fix is. It's just fiddling. I fiddle around a little bit, and it works. Okay, like as long as it works. It could be my Camlink Pro card. I might need to replace that at some point. I don't know. It is what it is. And whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but it is what it is. What's up, Dave Odell, Sailor, Jay Green, and Alice over in YouTube land. Thank you for coming in and chatting. I mean, I know it's not just y'all that are there. I see 18 people currently, concurrent viewers on YouTube. Thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate that. And over in Twitch land, Deathly Nightshade, Angry Beaver, how are you doing? Welcome. And let's see if any, you know what? I'm curious. Let's see if I can figure out if any lurkers came in. Let's see. Silent Furies, I finally gave in. How are you doing? Toast with the most. What's going on? I see you. I see you lurking there. Appreciate you. I'm not sure if some of these are lurkers or the background bots that will sometimes come, because this list will show you, like I see Tangia bot, Stream Elements in there, but sometimes it's not necessarily a user. So if Cashtropolis and Wolfcross are actually, and Duffman9999 are actually users, I appreciate you being here. Thank you. But either way, we're here, we're ready to do the stuff, to do the thing, and well, at least I hope you are. I know I'm somewhat ready. Lasagna does sound good. Throughout a lot of Texas, a good portion of Texas, you'll find stores called HEB. Fun fact: it stands for H.E. Butt. I think Herman E. Butt was the name of the founder. It's B-U-T-T. Yeah. Anyway, great stores. They have a lot of their own products that are really good, and they have like it's a frozen lasagna, and you'd be like, that doesn't sound that. No, it's good, because for me, I like when I was growing up, the only lasagna I really enjoyed was one that this family friend made that had pepperoni in it, and I was like, ooh, if all lasagna had pepperoni, I would love lasagna. And so this one has it, and I'm like, yeah, that's an easy yes whenever I see that. First time watching. Well, glad to have you, Wolfcross. Thank you for coming in. Sorry for peeping on y'all in the user list. I actually, when I used to stream, I used to have an app that would just have a constant, more up-to-date user list than like the one in the Twitch chat can sometimes be. I have to hide Twitch chat to see the user list. It's not ideal, honestly. So I like hide your words in order to see your names. Weird choice, Twitch. Weird choice to do it that way. But I used to pay more, see more frequently when there were lurkers here. I don't do that as much anymore. Jerry's Carpet, what's going on? Welcome. How are you? And glad to hear you're doing well, Angry Beaver. Silent Furies, you were living up to your name there. And actually, just using emotes, honestly, will continue to to assist in the username checking out. Steels 113. I was just getting ready to say that HEB lasagna is S tier. It is, surprisingly so. Like, it's no joke. Tried saying the same about Walmart lasagna. We tried that. We were like, how do you make something with this many ingredients and no flavor? None. Just add your own pepperoni. Pepperoni is a flavor cheat. It is, and it's not good for you. What isn't? What is good for you these days? Vegetables, I guess. These days, I think it's been a constant. Since you mentioned Intel, just seen in the news, they're laying off 15% of their workforce, citing needing to better align their business model, falling behind in AI. No mention of the processors. Well, that they're not going to mention. They're going to mention that as little as possible. But I'll tell you right now what they need to do. They need to get in front of the problem in a way that they did not in 2023 when it occurred with 13th gen. And then, of course, the microcode thing. Yeah, I can see that being a valid thing for 14th gen and 13th gen. But, just, 14th gen doesn't have the potential oxidization issue. So, yeah, just microcode. I can see that being an issue, being an actual thing, because I did a BIOS update with the latest update from ASUS. And I haven't had, you guys noticed, I had 2 stream crashes from one stream to the next. 2 streams in a row, the stream crashed. Since right after that, I did the BIOS update and it didn't happen again. The downside is if you're experiencing crashing or issues with exporting video or the message of, not enough VRAM or whatever when you're gaming, they're saying that your CPU is damaged at that point. Like, it's damage. Like, it's gonna, you have to basically run it in almost not quite eco mode, but in a lower mode so that it'll continue working, and it should continue working. But at that point, it's lost some of its upper capabilities. Don't quote me on that. I'm just really relating what I have heard. I haven't tested any of this stuff myself other than using one every day. Built my first PC thanks to you. That's awesome, Jerry. How did it turn out? Did you show it off on the Rigs channel? Safeway frozen lasagna is good. Glad to hear it. We don't have a Safeway where I'm at, but go further to North Texas. I think you'll find Safeway. I think. Vasilio's lasagna is the best. Is that a grocery store or a restaurant? Because if it's a restaurant, it had better be good. What I'm talking about is like the surprise of a frozen lasagna being like S tier. That's go you, HEB. They're doing their thing, and they're doing it well. But anyways, aside from all that, all that nonsense, I got to get my Google Sheets here going. Guys, if you're coming in here to get some help, 2 things you need to know. First off, you don't just ask for help and say, hey, help me out. That works in like our Discord in the Tech Questions forum, where you can get help from a volunteer techie. Here, you need to fill out a form. If you're in YouTube chat, look at the description of the YouTube chat, and the link will be first thing there. If you're in Twitch chat, you need to, it just popped up. If you're in Twitch chat, that Stream Elements thing with a link at the end, that's the one. You fill out that form, and you tell me what your budget is, what you're going to use the PC for, what if you want a black case, white case, whatever. All of those kind of questions that are good for you to ask yourself. You answer those, and I can actually help you rather than just guessing at what would be right for you. That's not the right account. There we go. All right. Okay. So last time on PC Matchmaker, I think the only person that was supposed to get help that didn't was Grumpfat, and they said they had to leave, but they would come back. But that was like during their turn. And then it was the next person I helped was the last person I helped. So, or that was it. That was it for the. Oh no, it was them, and then the person before them wasn't there when I called out their name, but then they came in afterwards, and I was like, okay, cool, you'll be the last person. So that's where we left off. But oh, thank you for the lurk, Angry Beaver, appreciate you. 700 X3D, 4070 Super, good combo. Absolutely, 1440p all day long. Restaurant. Well, I'm glad to hear it's good then. Like, if you get a frozen meal and it's mid, you knew what you were getting into. It's a frozen meal. Like, it is the very opposite of fresh, right? But if someone's cooking up something fresh and they get paid for it, you're starting at a higher standard, you know? But lasagna is also one of those things that when it's good, it's really good. And when it's bad, it's still kind of good, you know? Unless it's like burnt like a charcoal briquette, and that's inedible. I'm not talking about inedible. When it's mid, it's still pretty good. Or you can make it good, like that one I was talking about. Like it was look, I'm a busy guy. We're a busy guy. Ari works a lot. We're both very busy. So like sometimes you're just like, it's just minimum effort. What can we do? Something that's going to be, yeah. So we tried a frozen Walmart lasagna, and you can make it better. I threw some, like I use red pepper flakes on pizza. When I get pizza, I like to crush red pepper flakes. And not a lot of them, just a sprinkling of them. But I wouldn't put that on the lasagna, and I was like, okay, something's happening now. It's not nothing, that's preferable to nothing. So yeah. But yeah, I'm not trying to diminish Sailor. I'm not trying to diminish Vasilio's legacy there, their lasagna legacy. If it's great, that's awesome. And I'd love to try it someday. That'd be. Honestly, I often am jealous of food YouTubers, the ones that travel around and eat everywhere, and that's their job. They send their footage back to an editor and they crank out the videos, and they're just Mike Chen. Like I envy that dude's life. But then again, you can't do that without if you're a picky eater, and I kind of am. But by nature, it's not really a choice. It's a texture thing for me that I just can't get over. It's up here. If certain textures and flavors are combined, I'm not having it. Like my body's like, let's go ahead and remove this from our vicinity. It's not something we want. But yeah, I mean, that's just when I got to go to Taiwan, I was like, the food everywhere. Oh, the food was so good. Oh man. Colin Filer just bought a Spartan from Alexander PCs based off your recommendation. Sorry, I forgot to use your code. Colin, it's not a problem. All you got to do is call in. Colin, sorry, I had to do that. But you can also email admin@alexanderpcs.com and say, hey, I forgot to use the code, and then they'll apply it for you retroactively. It's not a problem, and that should be $50 back to you. That stuff happens, and probably more than you'd expect. The only thing is if someone buys from them without finding them through me or being part of the community or anything like that, and then they find out about the code and they're like, well, I want to get to me that's less legit, I guess. But PCs are expensive, and I've been thinking a lot lately about the state of the industry right now, man. It's bad. It's rough. Between the fact that we're in a recession that is like, it's continuing, still going. There have been some improvements, but they're only barely starting to show up in the PC industry. It's been over half a year of famine in the industry for sales for these SIs, and they have to sell PCs in order to pay their staff, pay their bills. They have to do business to stay in business, and it's been really, really rough. And stacked on top of that is how much more things slowed down in June and July, and before that because of it's because of people like me saying stuff like, "Yo, Computex is coming. Hold off. Okay, new CPUs from AMD are coming. Be patient." That's not good for them. And because of the fact that we have these codes, and I'm very transparent. Like, hey, you save money, you get PC, and support what I do. Because I encourage slowing that down, because it's better for you guys, that did affect me. Don't think it didn't. But I prioritize sending the right message to you guys. That's what I got to do. And I'm trying to complain about it too much. I mean, I do this job because of you guys already. Like, that's amazing. My Sapphire RX 6650 XT was pushed back another week by Amazon. Anton, that's crazy. Another week? How long was the shipping originally supposed to be? For any gamers in the stream world, in the stream. Sorry, I thought it was in the stream world. Like, it's one way to say, hey, for any streamers out there. But no, in the stream, World of Warships is doing a G1 Transformers crossover. It's giving all G1 fans a heads up. That's sick. So I could have like a Soundwave battleship. That'd be amazing. Like, it's a battleship, but also a cassette deck, because get it? It has, there's a deck. There's a deck because it's a ship. What's up, Patrick? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. You came in at a bad time. Sorry about the joke. It wasn't my best. I'm sure Sailor liked it, though. Well, as sure as I can be, honestly. Let me fix this a little bit. It's off to the side a little too much. Okay, then we get to transform. Bam. There we go. 10 days. Out of July 16th was supposed to get August 1st through 3rd. Now August 8th through 10th. That's... yikes. I mean, I'm not a fan. I'm not a big fan of Newegg. I'm happy that they improved when put under pressure. It shouldn't have taken that, but I'm happy they improved. But I don't know. Where did I order? The last time I ordered a GPU was an RX 580 years ago. But I ordered that from Best Buy on the website, and I got price matching with one that was off of Amazon, and Best Buy sent it in the amount of time they said they sent it in. I haven't ordered a GPU in a long time, unless it was in a PC, which that was the 3070 in the iBuyPower system that started everything that I do now. JDoggy007, come on, not like they're pushing known problems under the rug to make money. Thank you for all you do, Bray. Thank you. I mean, you're welcome. Not like they're pushing known problems under the rug to make money. I'm not sure what that was in reference to, but yeah. Thank you, Lone Star, for saying my joke wasn't the worst. I appreciate that. It's a good one. Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about... I just wanted to talk about Soundwave. What a weird transformer. Right? Like, what do you turn into? Oh, I turn into a semi-truck. What do you turn into? I turn into a gun. All right. Well, he didn't sound like that. That's more. But then it's like, what do you turn into? I turn into a musical device for leisure. And my cassette tapes turn into like other things, like a pterodactyl. Hey, you can't say they were just going with the easy ones, right? Like that was out there, man, out there. Thank you, Anton, for pushing that. I do appreciate you. Did you get us from 9 to 17 likes? Thank you very much, Anton. I appreciate that. So, keeping it fishy, getting a pre-built from iBuyPower. 2,500 with your code. Okay, keeping it fishy. Did you make your purchase? 7950X 3D and 7900 XTX. That's a great combo. I just need to know, like, what is the purpose of it so I can sort of comment on whether it's better to get that now or wait 14 days for the launch of 9000 series Ryzen. And I do want to make clear, guys, it doesn't, I'm not saying that when 9000 series launches, that they're going to be available at every system integrator. They won't. It might take a few days or a week or so to be available there, or 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to vary from one SI to another. Or B, that you have to get the new one. No, you don't necessarily. And especially if you're, if you don't like the idea of dealing with early adopter woes, because there's going to be a GIS updates after a couple of weeks where they're like, okay, there's these problems, these problems, these problems. I feel like the delay was to address those issues now, because AMD stands to gain a lot of ground in the market with what's going on with Intel. They need to get it right, because if they don't get it right, people are already upset at Intel. You don't want to get in those crosshairs. You know, you don't want to. You want to be the shining light, not just another failure, right? So I think it was to work on the Agisa and all that. What's up, Onware? How's it going, buddy? But yeah, keeping it fishy. If you got that system, if you're getting that system for anything other than just gaming, you just let me know, because I would have some words to share with you on that, especially if you have not yet made your purchase. If you made, you know, and of course, I'm glad you used the code. It was you said $2,500 with the code for 7950X 3D and a 7900 XTX. That's a hell of a lot of system right there. You recommended it for me for some 1440p gaming, streaming, and content creation. Okay. All right. Okay. You don't want to deal with those early adoption woes. That's fine. That's fine. I recommended it to you though. Okay. When was that? Let me see. I'm going to go here and search. Not there. Not there. Thank you. That was, wait. Fishy. I recommended this to you 2.5 months ago. 2.5 months ago. And you said that you were planning on ordering it within a month. And what, like, you do you. But to wait all that time and get it like a hair's breadth before the launch of the new ones, and not just wait those extra 2 weeks. And you know, it's not, remember, it's not just that you should get the newest one. It should also lead to discounts on the previous gen, the one you bought. Might have been a little cheaper. Hard to say. And you can't necessarily, is probably going to be more prevalent in the retail space, not necessarily with system integrators, because guess what? System integrators bought their stuff at a certain price, and they must profit or they shut their doors. They close down. Everyone's warranties are gone. They can't be as flexible as the retail side of things. You don't look to system integrators for that much price flexibility. But eventually, after maybe a couple of weeks or a month or so, it would go down in price. But I mean, you know, it's not a big deal. If you're happy with it, it really does not matter. But it's funny that it was 2.5 months ago and you're like, hey, I'm getting this now. And I'm like, now of all times. Hey, I feel you. Like I said, it's no big deal. Life does, you know, things do come up. I totally feel you. It's okay. It's just funny that it's like it was that long ago and it's right before the other stuff coming out. That's all. That's all I was saying. You get it whenever you want to. In fact, I don't know why this isn't green. Was this the only? Hold on. Did you do your entry a couple times? Yeah, I didn't mark this green and there's no link on here. That's my bad. Are you sure I recommended that to you? Oh well. Hey, as long as the code works. Oh boy. Pixel Zig. Hey, Sir Braythorn. I just purchased a PC with an i9 14900 KF, but I'm seeing things about an issue. Am I okay to game on it? Nope. Don't ask for advice after. Ask for advice before I would not have put you on a 14900 KF. Especially if you're just gaming. Why would you need 24 cores for just a gaming PC? Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you really should have come and asked before that. Although there was a hiatus. I don't know if it was during Computex that you bought it or when I was off stream or whatever. Regardless, like, I can't help you now. I mean, it's like, yeah, don't game on it. You have to wait until the release of the new microcode, the microcode update in mid-August. Because if you start to experience crashing, it is too late. Your CPU has been supposedly irreparably damaged. So, if you're not experiencing that, cool. Turn it off. Turn it off and set it aside. This is a situation Intel has put all of us in. And if you want to use it, you can go and get a BIOS update right now. It helped me. I'm using mine, but I have, if I need to, I can go throw together another PC, or I have one that I built recently I could use as a backup right now. You probably don't have that luxury, so I have to keep working. I need this thing to keep working so I can keep working. So okay, stop with the 14.9. Stop with the i9. And Silent Rage, I don't know what you're using your PC for. You see that thing that popped up under your chats there where it says Stream Elements and it has a link there? That's how you get help, okay? Wait, was it Silent Rage I was talking to? Oh, it was Pixel Zig is who I was talking to. Sorry, I got mixed up. But why is everybody getting i9s? Like, do you guys not watch the news? I was able to get a CyberPower PC from Amazon. No, not CyberPower. What? This is the stream of everyone coming in and telling me, "Hey, I did something you would not have recommended." Not CyberPower. No. Go back and look at how long it's been since I've recommended anything from CyberPower. It's since they started having issues with their customer service, their tech support, their RMAs, things like that. I can't recommend them until they fix that. Whatever deal you got, there's deals everywhere. If you can return it, return it. Don't go with CyberPower. Haven't even unboxed it yet and bought it because I got a good deal. Is it? If you game on it one time and it becomes irreparably damaged, it is no longer a good deal. When you're talking about spending, well, you didn't say how much you spent or how much it costs. I have no information here. I don't really like. You see this right here? Do you see this? This is the information you provide when you want help. All right. But most people who come into chat, I'm not hating here. This is just this is an observation. Most people, when they come into chat, will give me 1/10 of this amount of information, if that much, and expect the same level of quality of help. No, like I'm telling you guys, if you want help with that stuff, fill out your forms. If you can, like I have not been, if you watched my last SI Weekly, no intel in that video, because until the microcode update comes out, I can't recommend it. I can't, in good conscience, recommend Intel CPUs. High-end especially. i7 and especially the i9. I have a 14900K and it was having so many issues until I updated the BIOS, and not everyone's comfortable doing that themselves. Y'all are stressing me out tonight, man. Mist says, me, lol. What does that mean? What do you mean? You? You what? Haven't made the purchase yet. Pulling the trigger tonight. And it is for content creation. So yeah. All right. I mean, sure. AMD is like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it. Life. Okay. What's up, Solsden? How's it going? Dennis Barry, digging the background music in this episode. Do you use the same loop for each show? Is it more random? It's a playlist that I use repeatedly. It's backingtrack.gg. A couple of albums from them. There you go. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Silent Rage. I really do. But here's what I would recommend. Okay, before you do anything, you should make this decision for yourself, not based on what some bald dude on the internet is saying. Okay, I'm gonna find a video for you. All right, and I want you to watch this video, and I want you to compare how iBuyPower and how iBuyPower did versus. Let me go to my main screen. I want you to compare how iBuyPower does versus CyberPower PC. Maybe we should just watch this together before we get started on any PC matchmaking. Ugh, I can't watch the ending of that one.
I am really...
You know what? I'm not a reaction content person. But I want to share this with you guys. Let's watch this together. I don't do this normally, okay? And if anything, I'm still going to link the video, and I want you guys to click on it and at least drop a view for it. You know what I mean? Drop a like, stuff like that, because this series is excellent. It really is. It has it has its flaws in a way. Just don't watch the last video because I don't agree with the conclusion they came to. But I mean, sure, it's their series. They do what they want. Pixel Zig, please do as I said multiple times. Click that link and fill out the form. Stop trying to cut the line. Stop trying to skip the process. The process works. The link is right above your text right there. Please click that link. Anyone who wants help with a PC must follow that process, because otherwise I will have to dig for information from you, asking question after question after question. I'm not doing that. I do this for free, so you need to take that step. You need to do a little bit of typey, all right? A little bit of click on the options kind of stuff. Okay, that's all you got to do, all right? I promise, it's easy. Okay, let's check this out. I'll go to the specific parts. Let's pause this. Okay, so the CyberPower section is this freaking long, okay? We're gonna
monitor won't.
Okay, so here's what they did. They are completely anonymous, and this person who is doing these calls first called to get help on selecting a PC, and then the second episode, that's in the first episode. So you get to see what the customer service is like when helping make suggestions, things like that. And then in the second episode, they unbox everything, see what condition it was when it came in, stuff like that. The third episode is where they manufacture an issue by making one of the RAM sticks loose, and of course it won't boot properly then. And then they call customer service, and the person calling is not a tech person at all. So it is 100% up to the person on the other end of the phone to help the end user fix the problem without resorting to, just box it up and send it back. By the way, you probably have to pay for shipping. Have fun with that. Okay? So let's see how CyberPower does. We'll skip around a little bit. Typey. Yes. Bruh, I don't want to fill out a form just to get your opinion on if it was a good deal based on specs. It's okay, whatever, man. I want free help the way I want it. You don't get to tell me how to give me free help. Yeah, I do, actually. So, and literally everyone else is adult enough to take the time to provide information in order to receive a helpful answer. If you're not, that's okay. Like, I don't know what that molding. What is that? Can't even spell an insult properly. Like, if you're going to insult me, at least take the time for a spell check. Jeez. Friar Tech says, wait, this help is free and all I got to do is fill out a form. Sounds good. There you go. Anyway. I guess they can... What did they say they got? Hey, by the way, game as much as possible on your 14900 KF, okay? I'm sure it'll go great. Malding is a meme. Mad and balding, probably. But like, this isn't a process. I accept it's done. If I wanna be aerodynamic, I'm not waiting around for it. Malding. Okay, so cyber power. Let's see how they do.
There's nothing on the monitor.
It won't.
Yeah, it just won't.
The monitor won't.
It's trying.
What do you do when your monitor won't?
Cry.
Where did you plug in your HDMI? Is it plugged in above your pink, green, and blue audio ports, or is it plugged in below?
Below.
Interesting.
That's a good tip.
Uses the colored audio ports as a landmark.
Is it an HDMI cable or a display port?
That's a great question. How would I know the difference?
Check your plug. Does it look like a rectangle with a corner folded in, or is it a slant on both sides?
That's a good way to describe HDMI.
I like that.
Yeah.
That
Everything
rolled
starts
right
out
off
pretty
his
good.
tongue. You can tell he uses that all
Just
the time.
Yeah.
consider how
Does your
long
keyboard
this
light up?
section is.
I've
It is the
had
longest one in the video.
keyboard.
Give me a second. I'm going to have to find it. So as CyberPower was asking me to take out the keyboard, I pushed the lightest cardboard box off of the table and turned everything off. We were hoping that he's going to call us back, but he hasn't so far, so we're going to wait on hold.
8 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you,
if
Deathly
the customer
Nightshade.
gets unexpectedly disconnected,
Call
it
them
is
back.
not weird to call them back and say, hey,
I mean,
or email them back at least.
Salsden, I understand that you're fairly aware of what you want, but the purpose of filling out the form is not just to answer questions that you feel like you might not need to answer. It's also to put you in line for help. We're doing this before we get into those. I know, but I want to show you guys this. We're going to skip ahead of some of this. You know, we're going to lose a little context that way. But as you can see here, there are peaks and valleys of interest here.
Dang it, she had the opportunity.
Keeping it fishy, I'll do that soon. Oh, you did submit a form, says Salsden. Okay, you already submitted it. I just read up there and saw that. Okay. Sorry, I was distracted by the tantrum, I guess. Why would someone ask why? It's too much knowledge up here, man. Ran out of room. Hair had to go.
She asked the right questions, and she's still having us reseat the GPU.
To the back.
Double checking. Okay.
This is a good troubleshooting step, though,
Yeah.
because this tells us that it's probably not just a display output issue. This tells us
And-
that this is a post issue.
and she checked if it was to the front I/O, which could just be a bad cable on the board, or to directly to the motherboard.
Yeah, I would recommend go ahead and try to reseat that. If you can go ahead and bring up those instructions, we can try to walk through that together.
Dang it, she had the opportunity. She asked the right questions, and she's still having us reseat the GPU.
So you will need a screwdriver for this because we will need to take the screws out of the back of it so that way you can release it.
But at least Shay is covered there. She has a great screwdriver. Good
Okay.
move. I like that.
Tiny ones under the ports.
Those
Tiny
are
ones
to
under the
take the card
ports.
apart. That's to take the plate off.
So here's where things go sideways. The instructions that are being given here are unclear. You know the meme, instructions unclear, blank, and then something ridiculous happens? Yeah, how ridiculous is it to be instructed to dismantle your graphics card by accident? Because the whole point is she's supposed to do whatever they say for her to do. They need to give good and clear instructions. And also, why reseating the GPU? There are generally on most motherboards going to be code LEDs, and you know, VGA wasn't lighting up. I believe it was, you know, RAM. So
on the port, off of the
That
Yeah, you said it was the one. It was the tiny ones that were right below the.
we need.
Yeah, that milk is spilt, okay? That milk is spilt.
Oh,
Did she just do what I thought she did to that poor graphics card?
performance is gonna dip.
There were such easier troubleshooting steps that we could have taken.
Is I just shove it?
Are you going to provide her any instructions on how to put this card back?
I just shove it.
Okay.
Oh,
Skater's Guide to how to re-enry a GPU. He's right, because if that screw is shorting something, the rep should not be letting her turn the system back on with a loose screw somewhere.
Is it underneath the graphics card? Dear God.
Okay, so you want to have that look on your face? Go for it. And here's the thing. There could be some people who are maybe a little bit more seasoned and maybe will do a little bit better, maybe know the right questions to ask. But you level out those differences in skill with training, okay? I think they mentioned, let me see. We hear about the hold time at some point. How long was the hold time? I'm not sure what it was. I don't know. Anyways, so iBuyPower. Oh, CyberPower continued, right? Okay, what's that about?
Latest person we were talking to, she sent me, we sent pictures back and forth.
He gave him 5 minutes. I would have given him 2.
Well, CyberPower finally emailed for a tech support survey. That's the one that we lost the call with them twice.
They had the audacity to send a survey, but not actually follow up the experience.
Please fill out our survey. So we clearly have a way to contact you, but only for the survey, not to...
Okay, right. Clearly not ideal. I don't think it was the worst in the video, but not anywhere. It's not good. They didn't succeed is what I'm saying. Okay. Let's scooch on over to iBuyPower. Now, iBuyPower does something that I think is a little bit perhaps odd, but it's probably not a bad idea. They have a series of things that a recording that plays with quick fixes that will often fix the problem before you talk to a person. But here's the thing. I think this works in their favor. Yo, Solid Rage, thank you for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Who needs a retaining clip, right? Those pop right back on. I've done it. Just take it off another X16 you're not going to use. All right.
Computer is completely powered down and unplugged. Then remove both side panels. On most builds, Windows will be installed to the solid-state drive or SSD, which
right now that someone is going to...
I just tried a few quick fixes. It could happen to anyone.
Go ahead and press the Shift and the F10 key.
Okay.
Proceed to install Windows.
Oh, wait. This was a system that had an actual problem.
Yeah.
This is the best part. The iBuyPower system actually arrived with an issue, and not an easy one to fix, it would seem.
This is the one, it got messed up on the Windows install. I just tried a few quick fixes. It could happen to anyone.
Go ahead and press the Shift and the F10 key on your keyboard.
Get that command prompt open.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, REGE. What was next after that?
Regedit.
Regedit.
That's crazy.
We're going straight to registry editing.
This is a little dangerous, to be honest.
Wow.
He's gonna tell her exactly what to type, so it's probably fine. But I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know if I tell a new user to use Regedit.
The level of knowledge, though, is not it's not part-timers type of stuff. Just being like, okay, all right, I know what's going on. Just follow my instructions to the letter, it would be fine.
Immediately, first step, let's go.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay.
All right, so let's go look for the drop-down. Now,
He's lucky he's talking to a user who's savvy enough to just immediately find a drop down.
when you click on child completion, on the right-hand side, you're going to have setup.exe.
Yes.
All right, go ahead and double-click on setup.exe. The value data should be at 1. We're going to change it to 3.
Oh, I see what happened. It's not that the Windows install is corrupted.
It's the out-of-box
it's
experience.
The UBI, the out-of-box experience, somehow got corrupted or bypassed or disabled. So we've just...
Restarted it.
You can tell they've dealt with this before.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was like, oh, it's this.
Once the computer restarts, you should be greeted with the Windows welcome screen.
Yeah, it's asking my country, and yeah, it's the whole
And that's
Windows
it.
setup.
He fixed
thing,
that
so.
issue that
Great.
seems like it's like, oh my gosh, you need to send that back. Windows ain't working. Nope.
No, that's everything. Thank you so much. So we are calling back iBuyPower to...
So then they're like, okay, we got to do the same thing. They got called twice, like for 2 separate issues, because now they have to do the same thing with the memory to try and manufacture that problem and see how iBuyPower does.
Debug lights.
On the top right of it, you see
Okay.
Yeah, that was... They were pretty fast with the other one.
They were fast once we've made it through their lecture about how to...
Yeah, that was...
Okay, so you're just getting like a black screen?
Yeah.
Different rep.
Yeah, seems like it.
Is this a new computer?
Yes.
Do you have the order number?
Yes, I do.
Looks like you have an MSI motherboard, which will have a couple of debug lights inside. So if you look at the glass panel
to the debug lights.
There you go.
on the top right of it,
That completely avoids all the stuff that CyberPower was trying to do with removing, reseating the GPU, which accidentally led because of, insufficient instructions or unclear instructions to her actually starting to dismantle the GPU because they weren't sure, like it wasn't clear which screw to unscrew. So right here, you go to debug LEDs, bam, it's the memory.
see a
Watch.
small LED light there.
I do see a small LED light there. Yes.
What color is it?
It is mustard yellow.
2 issues. Because I bet you he's gonna solve this. Like, look, he's already got the debug light figured out.
So far ahead.
Yellow's going to represent your RAM. Would you feel comfortable taking the RAM out of the computer and putting it back in?
iBuyPower might have solved both of these issues in about the same time as our best resolution of the one issue with the others.
Yeah, and it's 2 different reps too, so we can't even just, tie it to like, oh, we had a good guy.
Nope.
And she does this, it works, that's it. In like half the time. Okay, no. Let me see. This segment is, iBuyPower, they fixed 2 issues. In half the time it took CyberPower to fix 1. It's not even close. So, does that mean you're screwed if you get something from CyberPower? Not necessarily. But go and read the SI testimonials in the Discord and decide for yourself. If you're cool with this, because remember, it's not just about buying something now and getting a good deal now. It's about the fact you're going to use your system for years and you're buying a pre-built because you either didn't want to build it yourself or you didn't know how to build it yourself and you didn't want to get into all that. So you need support. And that's part of choosing the SI that's right for you. And that's why, I tend to aim you guys towards companies that have that good support. Anyways, done with that. Great series from Linus Tech Tips. I linked it in both chats, right? Did I put the link in there? Did I do that? I don't know if I did that. Hold on. I did it in YouTube chat. Let me put it in Twitch chat. Yeah, go ahead and check that out. Watch the series, and you'll learn something or other about some of these companies. This is, I think, the 3rd time they've done it. And let me know if you think that maybe the next time they do it, they should get the pre-built guy on the job to maybe help out. I've already talked to them about it. Well, I don't think it's going to happen. Why would they fly me all the way up there just to be like, yeah, I know some stuff about pre-built. They know SIs too. Silent Rage says, been watching most of your YouTube videos past couple days. Honestly felt the itch when I saw the sale, but I'll wait and build one. Okay. Why go pre-built when you don't have to? Well, yeah, if you don't have to, you don't have to. If you watch the videos and watch I know everybody skips the disclaimmers, at least most of y'all do, and it's okay. But in the disclaimers, I'm like, hey, if you're on the fence about building it yourself or getting a pre-built, you should strongly consider going DIY because you'll get more for your money that way. But if you don't want that and you want to get a pre-built, I'm backing you up on that too. Whatever's right for you is right for you. Anyway, it's also that disclaimer is partially there just to try and stop people from making the idiotic comment of like, did you know it's cheaper if you build it yourself? What? Yeah, we know. Hey, Lone Star. I didn't know you had a form in here. I just stumbled upon this. But we're doing our roll call now. Roll call time. All right? Just know that if you submitted a form and it's for anything other than just a gaming PC, I'm probably going to recommend that you wait until the launch of AMD 9000 series Ryzen processors. If it's just for gaming, the 7800X 3D is probably still going to be top dog. And even if it's not, it's going to be a lot cheaper than the new 9000 series stuff when that comes out. So you're getting better price to performance regardless, and it is still going to be a monster of a gaming CPU. So, okay. What did I miss in the chats here, by the way? But yeah, I feel guilty about, by the way, guys, I feel guilty about showing another channel's content on stream. I never really do that, So if you could click on that link and give them a view and a like, things like that, or watch the series at some point, I would be much appreciated, and it would alleviate my feelings of guilt. I'm trigger happy with iBuyPower, but waiting for the new Ryzen CPU, says Wolfcross. Awesome. Maybe I can have Brayathorn build it, but I guess I'll have to fill out a form. Yeah. Wait, regedit doesn't work in my Archbox. Yeah, it's not working on my smartwatch either. Mostly because I don't have one. With 2 iBuyPowers for myself and my wife through upgrades, we now have 3 PCs. Oh, that's always fun when you have those extra parts after upgrades, and you're like, well, home theater PC it is. Sure, why not? Okay. But Robert Fixit, we were talking about the mic. This is the Shure Super 55 dynamic supercardioid microphone, and I've been asked to review microphones and stuff, and like I used to really enjoy getting new mics and testing them out. I'm kind of done. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want another mic other than this one. It's my favorite, even if it's not the best for what I do. How can I not love this thing? I think it sounds pretty good. What about GPUs? Are we waiting for anything? Just a thought. Yeah, it's probably not going to be till Q1 of 2025. 50 series is probably not until Q1 of 2025. Okay, that is my prediction there. Based on things. What's up, Crash? How's it going? Welcome in. Say afternoon. It runs my Pal World dedicated server and is my DJ streaming rig. That's awesome. There you go. Okay. Dave Odell recommended the Legatus from Alexander PC. Got mine last weekend. I love it. It's a great PC. Also, with Alexander PCs, their custom builder is for both custom builders for both Intel and AMD are both awesome. I've used the AMD one 1,000,000 times since they launched it. Not literally. Dennis Berry says, I dated a woman who burned every lasagna on purpose. Totally black on top and crunchy. It's kind of good. That's turning it into carbon, but I mean, that does sound, I like for me, if it's a layer of cheese on the top, yeah. Crisp it up. Burnt cheese is one of the best flavors. Jay Green's My iBuyPower came the same way. Trouble registering Windows 11, got it to work over the phone with them, but in the process of it, they emailed me a second key just in case. Nice. There you go. Lasagna should bring borderline burns on top. You get that little crunch when you cut it. Pro move. Yeah, I think we're all doing pretty good. Love burnt cheese as far as tech. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like if you make something like one of those frozen lasagna or something, and at the end you don't put it under, you set your oven to broil for like 3 or 4 minutes, like you're doing it wrong. Be careful with that though. Okay. But yeah, Lone Star, I know you were in here earlier. You said something. You said good one when I made the joke about the boat. So you're up here, but all right. Anyway, so we have 2 people who have filled out the form here, but I am going to do the roll call. Roll call is now. So everybody, here's what you need to do. Do you see this name right here? This name right here. There we go. When I do things, it's in reverse, so I often get confused. But it's Brayathorn, okay? It is spelled this way. I think my shirt's kind of, Naruto, you need to stop being so colorful there, kind of messing it up. But yeah, if you put in the @ symbol and start typing my name, as you see it here, it'll fill out the rest for you. And then you need to type, I'm on the list. So if you have filled out the form in the past and you've been waiting for your turn, please, @Brayathorn, I'm on the list. Put that in chat right now. Putting my name there highlights the chat for me on my end, so it's easier for me to suss out who is here and who is on the list. Not burnt, but toasted. Yeah. Fryer, thank you for letting me know you're not on the list. I guess the instructions were a little unclear. But I mean, yeah, if you want to fill out the form, not many people have submitted for tonight. So probably because I started late and also because most people are waiting, which is fine. However, if you're waiting for 9000 series, don't wait to submit your form then. Do it now. Because when those streams happen, when I start doing PC matchmaking after the launch of those CPUs, I'm going to go back and see who submitted the form earliest. And we're starting from there. We're going to be way behind though, but we're starting from whoever submitted it earlier. So if you submit it now, like these, if you submit it and don't get help, that's what a lot of these here on the list right now are. People who submitted it and maybe they didn't come back or something like that. And there's plenty of those. But if they do come back, I'm going to be like, hey, you submitted on this date? Cool. You're earlier than everybody else. You're getting help first tonight. There you go. Or if it's midstream and I'm helping someone who submitted it that night and there's a list of people waiting, but someone comes in who submitted the form 2 months ago, the next person's going to be them because that changes the order of things. So submit your form whenever you feel ready for it. However, do not submit it if you're more than a month away from buying your PC. If you're more than a month away from buying your PC, it is too early. We're only 14 days from this launch. So yeah, that's within a month. You'll notice if you try to fill out the form and you select the answer saying that you're not ready, you want to wait longer than a month to buy your PC, it's going to just end the submission of the form. It's going to just go to the end because everything could change for you. Stuff can come up. Your budget could change. Your needs could change. In that time span, you could decide, I want to get into some heavy editing work, and you have a 6-core processor on the system I recommended for you for some reason. That's not going to be good. 32 gigs of RAM instead of 64, that kind of thing. Chris, it says, Braethorn, I'm on the list. I don't remember seeing did I see a Chris here? Yeah, I don't see a Chris here, so I am afraid you're not on the list. Can you answer my PC? No, okay. So you're saying I explained it to you, but you want me to explain it further. Where did I put that? I had that card. Where did I put it? All right. PCIe cards are usually about that wide, a standard size one. But because of the height design on any of the Y series cases, Y40, Y60, Y70, because of where they put the GPU, you only have half height or low profile PCIe slots. So when you're searching for a capture card, you need to get maybe like the Elgato 4K60 or something like that, a capture card that is in that low profile. It comes with both a full-size PCIe bracket and a low-profile one, so you can use it with that. If you're going to get an add-in USB card, it needs to be low profile. Okay, you just need to add that to your search. That's it. Most of those cards are plug and play. The Elgato one, you do want the software for it, but yeah. $339. Cameron Russell, December 14th, 2023. So here's the two people that submitted forms tonight are Steels113 and Sulsden. I use my Twitter handle DarkGuild69. Why would you do that? I don't stream on Twitter. All right. Okay, here. First off, okay, here we go. You probably blasted right through this, but if you did that, you will have missed the fact that you agreed that if you ignore any of the instructions and any of the questions, you agree to be roasted on stream. That's part of submitting the form. This is why you should, I'm not saying read the fine print. It's in bold, all caps. That's not fine print. And then the first question says, here, what is your Twitch/YouTube handle? Those are your two options. Or username. For the purpose of verification, this should match what shows up as your name in chat. Entering anything other than your username invalidates your form submission. And then I provide a picture. I need to reload this because it's looking a little funky. There we go. You can go ahead and resubmit it because you were basically picking a random one from December and saying, no, I'm right there. I need to be able to verify it's you. Use the name that shows up in chat. That's what I did. I did this. It might be the lag. That might be you. It might be somebody else. I have no way of verifying this. It needs to match what's in chat. This is not something I'm not just being a jerk. This is not something I just came up with. It's all in bold and in underlined. I don't know what else to do for you guys. What else do you need from me? I put a picture there. It's a picture. Oh yeah, I don't have music right now. There we go. We have music now. If I'm like, you know what, forget it. The rules, we won't apply the rules this time. Then what do they matter? Like, I need that so I can verify the person who submitted it, because right now things are slow, but they're not always going to be. So yeah, it was there. You could have read that. You could have seen a giant picture there, and you put something other than, like, you had two options and you said, I'm going to go with option C. That doesn't exist. So yeah, don't know what to tell. Okay, Chris, all you got to do then is switch over to Twitch. Start watching on Twitch instead. Twitch.tv/Brayathorn. There's a link in the description. You just got to go to the description, click the link, and you'll be there. And then I can verify, okay? Italicized. All right, you know what? We're doing that. We're going to italicize this. There we go. See, this is the thing. Don't rush through the forum, because then that happens. And I understand if you got stuff going on in the background. I do get it. Okay. But yeah, just switch over to Twitch. Be good there. Especially if you're you prefer Twitch enough that you use your Twitch handle instead of whatever comes up on YouTube. Font size 30. Yeah, I'm not messing with that. But yeah. Yeah, this is how this is set up, by the way. If you choose more than a month from now, the option that clearly states more than a month from now, you should not submit this form yet. It just takes you to section 3. That's all it is. It's not very complex. But if you choose within a week or within a month, you go to the next section. And section 2 is everything. It's all of the things. All the important stuff. Also, I made that graphic. I think it looks pretty good. All right, Dark Guild, you're good. There you go. That's all I needed from you. So I will go here, and I will mark you as here. I look, there's some times where it's like, I feel like I'm being unreasonable, but like, there are times when doing this is utter. This is born from when I would have 110, 120 people in Twitch trying to all get my attention, not all, but trying to mostly get my attention at once, get help immediately. And I had to start putting my foot down. And that was before I had this to organize everything. So that's why I'm a little bit anal retentive about it. And my apologies. But yeah, there you are. Now I need whoever else is here. Okay. Soulsden over in YouTube chat, I did say you should use the @ symbol, because if you don't spell my name correctly, which is on screen like all the time and on the channel and all of that, if you don't spell my name correctly, it doesn't highlight it for me. But whatever, I did see it, so I'll go ahead and mark you. That's not one of those like, hey, you need to redo everything kind of things. I only do that if I'm feeling cheeky. But there you go. Soulsden is here. Anybody else? If you said I'm on the list and you didn't spell my name right, I'm not seeing it. Like, there's not a ton going on right now, but like, let me zoom in on this. Hold on a second. It'll make the text larger in YouTube chat, and that would help me out. There we go. That helps. My bad. You're good. No problem. You're being very reasonable. I work as a project manager for the federal government, and unless you keep people in check, it's pure chaos. It's just like when you get people like, what's his name? I already forgot who it was. I don't know. Pixel Dick or whatever. Pixel Zig. I don't know. I think both are correct. That they, they freaked out just because they had to do a little bit of effort to get help with certain other content creators that give great help, but charge for it. We'll charge you $200 for 30 minutes. I do this for free for anybody who comes in and provides a little bit of info. It's just like anything else. If say you want, you want to get a loan, right? Or whatever. You're getting some organization's giving you a bunch of money. They ask you for information. You're going to go buy a car. They're going to be like, oh, hey, cool. You want to buy a car? Neat. What kind of car are you looking for? How are you going to use this thing? How many do you need? 4 doors, 2 doors? And otherwise, they're just guessing. And it's the same for me. And the form has been worked on for, it's the result of doing this for a couple of years now. And, you know, I've formed it off based off of that. Has anybody else said that they're here? Oh, boy. Bray, what's your opinion on 13th and 14th gen issues? We don't have that kind of time right now. I have addressed it quite a bit in streams previously, but just don't buy 13th gen. And 14th gen, maybe after the microcode update, but it's a dead platform at this point anyway. So just go AMD right now. Steele's actually said, yeah, as a production foreman for one of the biggest heavy civil contractors, you're doing great. You have me nervous. I missed something now. Oh, but you see, that's when we make it fun. That's when we have fun with it. That's why it says you'll be roasted on stream, but it also says, oops, didn't mean to do that. Good-natured roast. Don't worry. I really need to change my hotkeys. Can't have it typing that all the time. Okay, so we'll go ahead and mark you there. So it looks like we're going to be getting started here with 3 people so far. Dark Guild, you're going to be first. And you're doing just gaming. Sweet. What is this? Exotic PC. Interesting. This will give us a chance to take a look at Exotic PC. I don't know. So my thing with Exotic PC is this. I posted 2 videos about them. One was overwhelmingly negative, and there was a lot for them to fix. The second was like, holy crap, guys, they reached out and they want to fix things. That to me is better than never having had issues at all. I would rather be able to see an example of that kind of flexibility, that mentality, that want to do better kind of attitude, than if they never had an issue to begin with, right? However, I don't know if they're there yet. As they told me themselves, their rep told me themselves, it's going to be a process. So it might not be something I can recommend just yet. I also do not have a coupon code for them yet. So I might show you a different option for now, but you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But tell me, because the option for the upper limit for budget is 4,000 or more, what is your actual maximum budget? Rogers, USB thumb drives, they're a dime a dozen. I mean, I imagine they work just fine, and they're probably manufactured by the same OEM that makes them for big brands anyway, same as the SSDs from Inland. But it comes down to what kind of SSD, USB drive, thumb drive you need. You need a USB 3.0. You want USB Type C, USB 3.1. You know, like what do you need? If you need something fast, it's going to be more expensive. If you want something that's just going to hold some stuff, maybe to install Windows or BIOS or something like that, then get whichever one you can. Will you be making a YouTube video on Intel, or is it 2 weeks later already? Not really. That's the thing. There's already a lot of negativity on it. It's been reported on. That's more of a Gamers Nexus thing than the guy who talks about pre-builds. Instead, what'll happen is you'll see my content focus on what I would actually recommend. Like when I did, when these issues first started happening, I started focusing heavily on AMD, and that's how I've been ever since then, because they were silent on the topic. And then when they did confirm it, I was like, good, for the last couple months, I've been doing the right thing. But I'm not out here to generate more anger, more vitriol. Stuff like that happens. Where Intel messed up was not in their fab where they had a problem. It was in the fact that they didn't report it. That they didn't put out a huge press release or a message to everybody or a recall. None of that. That right there is what I don't like to see. It's upsetting. 4,500 max. Okay, no. All right, we're going to go back here. This should not include taxes or shipping, and should be separate from your budget for a monitor, peripherals, etc. Why? Because I don't know. I cannot quantify what those will be. I don't know. And I don't want to just calculate taxes, you know? I don't want to be sitting here calculating taxes. We set up a blank budget. We'll just make it the 400, I guess. 4,000, I guess. You know? Leave you some room for that. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, see, that's the thing. That's why I have certain language in there, certain words, is because I've been doing this for a while. I can use exotic PC or Zydax, which are Zydax. I had a good rapport with, and I'm worried about them right now, and I'm not comfortable recommending them right now because we recently had a thing where someone was having such a major issue with them that they were threatening legal recourse because it had been months and they had not gotten the help they needed. At that point, it doesn't matter if it's a major issue or a minor issue. I would be worried about the future of my PC and the support I'm going to be getting. So until Zydax figures that out, fixes whatever needs fixing, they're not on the list of SIs I can comfortably recommend while putting my reputation behind that. Because guys, every time I recommend one of these, I need to have there's never full certainty. I mean, you can find out that the largest SI in North America, iBuyPower, it cheats at Monopoly. I don't know. We never know. So there's never full certainty, but I like to have as much as I can. And when there's doubts placed in my mind like that, I ain't doing it. Exotic PC needs time to cook. We're going to take a look at them, though. Let's take a look at Exotic PC. Let's see what has changed. So, one of the things they did, they made some immediate changes. One of the things they had here that I was like, this is a big, big no-no here. Come on. They had buy it now buttons under PCs you can configure. And the initial configuration was god-awful. Okay? Now, this configuration, you see a picture here with a GPU, right? It doesn't come with a dedicated GPU, if I'm not mistaken, unless they change that. Okay, no, go away. Yeah, integrated Radeon RX Vega graphics because it's a 5600G. Now, you would never see any of this because it would just say buy it now. And guess what? It went right to your cart. You didn't, and they were like, oh, the guy was like, oh, no, yeah, I could see how that's a bad thing. Very receptive, very like, you know what? That perspective, I get that. Okay, yeah, well, and they removed it like right away. Now, my other feedback was like, hey, you need to put something on this image saying that the image may differ, that it includes options or something like that. And it's not just like, it's mainly for consumer awareness. Like, oh, it's not going to look like this if I just buy it like this for $850 or whatever. It's not an $850 PC. This is a $350 case. But the thing is, with the way that their website is formatted, they couldn't put it under here. All their text and stuff comes out over here. So it's like, I'm not happy with this. And I let them know. This needs to be at the top. Not at the bottom, but it is right by the add to cart button. Okay. So they're working on it. This tells me, the fact that this is still down here tells me they still need to cook. And I want to give them every chance to do that. Once they've done that, and I feel comfortable with what they're doing with their site, what they're doing for their customers, things like that, we're probably even going to do a discount code if they have it. Have them join Operation Code Brayathorn. I would love to do that because they're very receptive. Yeah, actually, the Y70 Touch, as it seems. Unless this is the Y60 with the screen added. Oh, Y60, yeah. No. They don't even have the touch, actually. So this picture is even more inaccurate. Oh, boy. But that's another thing. They had some systems in their ready-to-ship systems, which let's take a quick look here, that were like, really? For that price? You're putting what was it? Let me see. Okay, now this one here had a 40... Okay. No, it does. Look at this. This is 1850, and it comes with a 4060 in it. You know why? Because it is an MSI Project Zero build. with all the wires in the back. This is a Project Zero case. This is a special PC. But they put a 4060 in it. Why? 4060 in this Y40 Ghost. $21.99 with a 4060. The thing about it is this, and this is something that I can't really fault them for. They do requests where people can talk to them and get help directly. And they actually have people who have been watching too many TikToks, who have been seeing crazy looking PCs, but they don't want to spend $4,000 on that PC. So they're like, no, you know what? Just put something in there. I just want to game it 1080p, but I want it to look crazy. Like, apparently they get that a lot at Exotic PCs. It's almost like become their forte in a way. I personally would put performance over aesthetics, but I do care about aesthetics. It's just that is so unbalanced. A 14700K with a 4060? If that's the case, why is it an i7? Why not an i5? Bring the price down even more. So that's what I was saying. In the video where I was like, yeah, they're fixing things, I still talked about how some other systems are upside down. I call that being upside down because if you're just wanting a game, the GPU is a priority, CPU comes secondary, especially if you're at 1440p or 4K. Because then the CPU doesn't even have to do as much work because it's fewer frames per second at higher resolution. So yeah, I'm probably still not going to recommend Exotic until they sort of work those out of the system, or until they, yeah, I guess if we could configure it, and it would probably still be fine, but I don't know. You know what? I think you would be great for Paradox. I think Paradox would be good for you. If you like this kind of look, you like this kind of thing, Paradox does a lot for aesthetics, and I think that would be a good option for you. Or Viral. Viral Tech would be an amazing option for you in that case as well. Both of those would be really good. Alexander PCs would be a fantastic option for you. Lifetime warranty on top of that. Same with Viral Tech too. Hey, Brian chat, came to get my PC fixed for the night. What's up, Phoenix PC? How's it going? How is the spec on the what do you guys call the maxed out one again? I don't know. Everyone there's so many orange logos and they're tiny on my screen. Hold on, here we go. With a new tab. What is the top tippity top of the line one here again? The Wyvern, right? I can buy the PC anywhere, really. I just recommend Exotic based off your last video saying they were getting better. When they're getting better, we got to let them do that. And there's a reason for that. You know what that reason is? And I need to reach out to them. And I'm not talking about Exotic PCs now, okay? I'm talking about Build Redux. There were a lot of things said by Build Redux about making improvements months ago. All things that they could have done in probably a month, other than retooling the case. Because yes, I have word from them that based on my review of their case and the airflow problems it has, they were going to have it retooled because it's a case that's being made for them. That's a commitment. That's a big investment, and I was really impressed. But that much easier to fix than that is if you have storage and RAM that are outdated and they're your only options. They said they were going to be fixing that and getting with their suppliers to get new stuff, and I'll check it, but the last time I looked a couple of weeks ago, they still had not done it, and that was like back in March. I think I talked to them about that. I'd have to look. Maybe a little bit later, but still, months and months have passed since then. Let's see what their options are under custody. This is just as an example, okay? Memory. All right, what is their DDR5 looking like in the specs? Yeah, I got it. DDR5 5200. I think that's the same as it used to be. That's like, okay, I guess, but that's what year? Like that's like 2022 DDR5, okay? Not the biggest deal, all right? And yeah, even if you go to their 64 gigs, DDR550, well, I mean, it's actually cheaper to have faster, higher frequencies with lower capacity, whatever. Now there's storage, okay? Storage is poopy, as expected. 2,400 megabytes per second, max sequential read speed, max sequential write speed up to 1750. And this is your only option, okay? 2 terabytes, same thing. Now, when you go to the 4 terabytes, okay, it's a little bit better at 4,100 megabytes per second sequential read and 4,800 megabytes per second sequential write. Still, that's like half of what most brands are doing for a high-end 4 terabyte M.2 drive. And this is your only drive these are the only ones you can choose for fast storage. This has not changed one bit. And yes, this case looks nice, but the airflow on it is pretty bad. And they had it made for them. Like, how did they not catch that? But whatever. That's the thing, is if I see that, I don't recommend stuff based on promises. And you shouldn't buy stuff based on promises. Because sometimes they're like, yeah, I think he believed it, but I don't think that's what Build Redux is doing here. There could have been more complications involved with making those changes. I don't know. Man, what we wouldn't do for a proper custom builder for the website. I think, like, the real sad thing here is they got a great builder here. This thing used to have only 4 options. I'm really glad they added more. But I wish the hardware they carried wasn't, and this to me, I know I'm going off on a tangent, all right? If you're new here, I do that. I think this is a carryover from Digital Storm, their parent company. I caught, up until I think early 2022 or late 2021, I caught Digital Storm putting SATA M.2 drives as their labeled performance series as the default drive in their high-end boutique builds. Just to give you an idea, if you thought these speeds were kind of okay, you should, if you're looking at a drive, if you're going to limit someone to only one option, it should be one of the better ones, in my opinion, or at least mid. This ain't even mid, because the upper end of PCIe Gen 4 M.2 drives is over 7,000 megabytes per second max sequential read speeds. This is 2,400, okay? But compare this to SATA M.2. That's about 500 megabytes per second max sequential read speeds. 1/5 of this, which is 1/3 of what it should be. Anyway, that's fractions, right? Am I right? What's up, Zon198? How are you doing? It doesn't say what resolution those FPS are in. I don't know. What FPS? What are we talking about? That's I don't know what those are. It should be pictures, but it's videos apparently. Anyway, I went a little far afield here. But basically, don't make a purchasing decision based on a company that is going to be doing better, right? And that also goes for, like, if you're a little sketchy about ASUS, then you can hold off until they start showing with accountability the changes they promised to make. Although these things were said to me not publicly, not that it was confidential. I was told this so that I could relay it, but it wasn't said on a hugely public platform like ASUS did. So ASUS is a little bit more, on the hook for the whatever. Anyways, that's enough from me. But yeah, you have myriad options out there, and finding the one that's right for you is up to it. You choose whichever one you like. Like, say for instance, Phoenix PC here. Okay. Phoenix PCs does something really cool where they stream every build that they sell. It's streamed live on Twitch, meaning you get to watch your PC being built, interact with the builder, see the process happen, and be a part of it. Okay? If that appeals to you, we customize it here, and you're good to go. And there's a lot of options here. It looks like there isn't, but when you start customizing, it goes. All right? Let's see, I was talking about, I mentioned Paradox here. Paradox Customs does some great boutique builds. have a good, you have the customizer right in there. And there are a lot of case options here. There you go. You want something that's in the style of exotic PCs? Go for the O11 Vision. Oh my gosh, look at that. And and Paradox does something like Alexander PCs does. Alexander PCs is another great option. I'll show you real quick. But if you go with a white build, they put in a white motherboard, white or silver motherboard, white fans, white cooler, white GPU. Okay, so there's that, right? Hey, Braythorn, your stream keeps making me reload it every 30 seconds or so, but I can watch other people on Twitch. I don't know if this is happening for others. If it was happening for others, I think they would all be telling me. But just try toggling low latency mode in your settings. See if that helps. Thank you for the lurk, Beaver. Appreciate you. I need to also look at YouTube chat. I'm sorry. Whenever I'm helping someone in a certain chat, I tend to look at that one more. Bought a used old dusty CyberPower PC from 2018 for $75. It was interesting to see a pre-built gaming PC in person. The cable management was nice. I just cleaned it up and flipped it. Well, Robert, I'm not saying that they were always bad. It's just currently they seem to be bad, so I don't recommend them until they fix that. And that's the thing. Some companies will have times when they need to work on their quality, the QC, or they need to work on their tech support or whatever. You're looking for Ryzen 7 3D. Jody Holland, please fill out the form and I'll help you look for that. That's the first thing that's in the description of the stream, is that if you want help with the PC, you need to fill out the form. I'm currently helping somebody right now. Is having antivirus still a prevalent thing for computers? Just use Windows Defender. Windows Defender has come a long way, and it pretty much does everything you need. I was having issues in Twitch when I first signed on. Kept saying the video was stopped. I had to click the restart button. That's weird. Okay. It's great advice. Thank you. Truthfully, you're the expert. I'll take your advice. Okay. Well, a couple of pauses on Twitch in the last few minutes, but much better than when I joined half an hour ago. Why didn't you? I thought you guys would tell me if there was like constant issues happening. My bit rate is stable. Everything looked good there. Not sure. Anyway. Okay. So what other one was talking about? I was talking about, here, let's go here. Alexander PCs. And say we do a, okay, looking at your needs here. It's just gaming, $4,000, the AMD. It would, you want a white PC. We would do a white case. And you can change the case as well, although that will change the price because it changes the number of fans they need to put in there. This one comes with fans. O11 Vision and the O11 Evo RGB don't come with fans. That kind of thing. 7800X 3D. Bam. And then you choose your motherboard. I personally really like this one. It's nice for a white build. Has a lot of I/O, a lot of 4 M.2 sockets on it, and the price on it's really great. Your RAM 32 gigs, DDR5 6000 in white, already good. Let's see. And we'll go with the Trinity SL Infinity cooler. We might change the motherboard, I don't know, but we don't need that one, and we can just put a 2 terabyte Kingston Fury Renegade, and we can add more storage if need be, but there's that. RX 7900 XTX is going to be 4K gaming all day long, super powerful GPU, or you can go with, well, that's going to be over budget though. 4090 is going to be over budget, but yeah, man. Okay, I'm going to show you something here. This is one of my favorite things, and it's Zach of Zach's Tech Turf on his website. They have this build help page, which is great. And then we just go to this GPU comparison chart, and let's go over to 4K. Now, the 4090 is a weird card. It's like NVIDIA put everything they had into that one, and it is a top of the line GPU. However, aside from that one outlier, the 7900 XTX is the most powerful GPU on the market. It is not as sophisticated when it comes to ray tracing as NVIDIA cards in general, but in rasterized performance, it beats the 4080, the 4080 Super, and for less money. It's a great card. And here you'll see 4080 Super is $265 more, and it in rasterized performance it performs. It's lower than that 7900 XTX. But yeah, this could be a full build right there. Boom, done. Everything's gonna match in the white colorway, and you get a lifetime warranty with Alexander PCs. Plus, you get cable extensions in the color of your choice. Braided sleeve cable extensions for the power supply. All that look nice. And that's this one. That's this option. But that when you have a boutique build, though, if you went to like iBuyPower or whatever, you can get this for cheaper. Yes, but the warranty is going to be a limit. It's going to be a normal warranty, not the lifetime warranty, things like that. Also, you can request that Alexander PCs build it on stream, or if you really want that, and you can also go with Phoenix PCs. There's just so many options. It can be difficult to decide. But let's see. Shipping is free here, so you don't have to worry about that. Shipping is free. And I would say maybe we should just finish this up right here. Now, I need to ask, though, are you a fan of this case? Right here. Clean. The Lanco 216 is awesome. Or do you want to go with an 011 style case like one of these? This will raise the price, though. But going with the 7900 XTX, you don't have to worry about that. There's plenty of budget left over to go with aesthetics, and you're not going to lack for power in the slightest. 7800 X3D, 7900 XTX is a bonkers combo for 1440p or 4K gaming, or really, really high frame rate 1080p competitive gaming. I wouldn't use a 7900 XTX for 1080p, but I mean, hey, whatever you do, you. You were laughing too much to say anything. Well, I can't fault you for that. You want to know how it works in Resolve? I would check Puget Systems benchmarks on their site. They will test that. In fact, we can check that right now if you want. But I prefer a case with more glass, such as being able to see inside. Sure. So 011 Evo RGB. Raise the price because suddenly it doesn't come with fans anymore. They have to provide all of the fans, right? But hey, there you go, right? And if we want to go with matching fans all around, SL Infinities in white, bam, done. Could even go with a higher wattage power supply, though it's not necessarily necessary. You can add more storage. You have like $700 left over to do things like more storage. Like if you want to go with a 4 terabyte drive, if it's just for gaming, you're probably like I don't know that you'd be able to fill this as things are now, unless you're doing all AAA titles and you want them all installed all the time. I don't know. It would still take a long time. 4 terabyte Kingston Fury Renegade is pretty much it's a top M.2 drive at this point. It's really high end, very reliable. That's a high capacity. We're still at 3589. Holy smokes. 7800 X3D is not to be beaten right now when it comes to gaming. And I venture to guess that it's not going to be beaten even with Ryzen 9000 series when it comes to just gaming PCs. There are going to be other benefits to Ryzen 9000. I do believe that, but we'll see. And yes, it only has one RAM stick. Interesting. Add whatever upgrades you think will make it better up to my max budget. Okay. Well, I'll say this. If you want to do, like looking at this list, if you add ray tracing, this positioning changes with the 700 XTX being under the 4080 Super. So let's see if we can put in a 4080 Super so that if you have their performance is very similar, but you'll have the option to go with some high-end ray tracing. It looks like it's going to be the MSI 4080 Super Expert, not necessarily a white GPU, but it is a very unique looking one. I think it's pretty cool, actually. Pretty cool looking. But that's the 4080 Super that they have on hand right now. And we're still, we are now encroaching on the budget. We're getting there. But to me, you have to be really into the idea of ray tracing to spend that extra $265, personally. It's my opinion. But I'll also go here. I'll bump this up to 1200 watts. There you go. That's only like a $40 upgrade right there. Not that you're necessarily going to be using 1200 watts all the time, but if your system wants it, it's there. We can push you up to a... No, I think that's probably where I would leave it. Okay, all you got to do, Northern Lights, just Google 7900 XTX Puget Bench. This is just going to take a second. I'm curious too now. All right, Puget Systems is right there. Here we go. Some good advice right here. Always look at the date when you read an article. Some of the content in this article most likely out of date since it was written on December 16, 2022. But I don't know that there is a more recent article for this specific thing. But as driver updates come out, this can improve. But there we go. DaVinci Resolve Studio. Video editing. Bam. And it beats a 4090. Holy jeez. Why are we not going 4090 at a 4K budget? Well, because Zon, this is a boutique builder, and if we went with a 4090, it would be slightly above budget at around, without the changes I made. It's a boutique builder. That means that it generally costs more than a high volume seller. They sell fewer units, so that means there needs to be more profit margin in each one. That is just a fact. They also put a lifetime warranty as part of the price. Okay. You go to most SIs, you're going to get a year to 3 years or something like that. This is lifetime warranty for parts and labor. And Alexander PCs bends over backwards to make sure that if your parts just fail out of nowhere, and even if it's out of what would normally be a regular warranty, they still will help you out. But yeah, look, we go with 4090 here, $891 more. Okay, but we can undo some of the changes that I made. So we go back to the 2 terabyte drive, which is more than enough for most gaming systems. And adding storage is one of the easiest things you can do. Now with the 4090, we can't go down to the 1000 watt power supply. It's a minimum 1200 watts. And we added the case, which means you have to buy all the fans for it. Well, there you go. That's the added cost right there. So that puts it above budget because you still got to pay taxes on this. Shipping is free and included. Plus, if you use my code, which is Thorn, you get $50 off, so it puts it at under 4,500. But that's not what I was told. I was told 4,500 including taxes and shipping. This is not including taxes right here. No hate, that was not his question. Fair enough. All right, so what I'll do here, let me revert back to what I had, and I'll give you a link to purchase system and the code that you use to get $50 off. We had it with 4 terabyte drive and a there's 4080 Super or 7900 XTX. Personally, I would go with the 7900 XTX. I think it's going to look better and it's going to game in most cases just as well, if not better, than the 4080 Super. If you max out ray tracing stuff, yeah, the 4080 Super is going to have an advantage. They're in their 3rd generation of hardware accelerated ray tracing, whereas AMD is in their 2nd generation. There's a natural advantage to that. And we're at the 1200 watts. So there's a system right there. If you feel like it, come down here to GPUs, switch it to this 7900 XTX, save some money, and your performance is going to be very close, regardless. But yeah. Also, if you like the look of the 7900 XTX more, there is that to consider as well. That's why I said thanks for that. I needed that. Couldn't remember where I read it. Thanks a lot. Puget Bench, they run some of the best benchmarks. I feel bad that I never covered them, but they're more on the professional level. And I guess that would be good for content. Eventually I'll cover them. But yeah. So that code right there gets you $50 off. There you go. And it supports what I do. So there you have it. As far as I know, we're the only community that has a discount code with Alexander PCs. Okay. I was kind of all over the place with that one. I apologize. I think that might sum up this whole stream. But yeah. There we go. Okay. Next. Oh, that's the wrong color. I don't know. I felt like I was going to choose the wrong one. There we go. Okay. Steels 113. What's up? No problem, Dark Guild. You got it. Solsden says everything's fine there on YouTube. Good. One RAM stick. I'll say this. There is a reason why I am constantly saying buy directly from the system integrator. It feels like every time I go to Best Buy to look at the systems they have on the floor there in the PC department, I don't know what they do to their SI partners, but I see single sticks of RAM. Even iBuyPower has done this, and it bugs the hell out of me. But when you are, especially when you have your systems on display in thousands of locations, I mean, Best Buy is doing that because they're getting paid, right? They're getting their cuts. And that leaves less profit margin for the SI. They have to make cuts in the system compared to a similarly priced system direct from their website. Now, if I can be proven wrong on this, I would be happy to change my mind. But I just don't think it's going to apply to anything that is on location there. Also, if you see a CyberPower PC system, check to see if there's any intake fan set up. If it's a side intake kind of case, I guarantee you they set it up as all exhaust fans to make it look prettier. And it drives me out of my mind. Aeon people, today I purchased a 1080 Ti Strix for $50 and didn't have a scratch on it. And full box, even original 8-pin splitter. And Velcro strip. That's a great purchase right there. I mean, it's dated, but like, what a goated card right there. Crazy. Only thing that would get me more is if it was a Kingpin card from EVGA. That right there, that's a Holy Grail 1080 Ti. Any Kingpin card's a Holy Grail card, though. And I hope that and he's going to be working with PNY now, so I was all sad because I was like, I'm never going to get a Kingpin GPU now because of EVGA shutting down the GPU operations. It might happen now. They do look pretty sad. You're right. It bugs me. Okay, waiting on word from Steels113. Oh, yeah. I see you there. My bad. Saying yes, sir. Okay. Alrighty then. So, quick question for you. Because on the form, the budgets are in increments of $500. There's some wiggle room in there, so why don't you tell me what is your actual maximum budget? Not including taxes and shipping. Although a lot of SIs have free shipping at this point. But still, not including taxes and shipping, what is your maximum budget? No, it took me a second to see it, Steels. My bad. Keeping it fishy, mind revisiting my build. Resubmit your form, please. You're basically asking me to help you twice, right? Whereas there's people who haven't gotten any help at all. So you need to still do the process where you do the thing and you get in line. Sorry about that, but them's the breaks. 3,300. Now, let's say that needs to be that you can't change that later, because if you do, that means I have to rework the build, and I don't do that. So be certain. Okay, let's see here. All right, gaming, pro gaming / esports. Sweet. Solsden, I'm going to tell you right now, in case you're of the mind where you're like, well, if I'm not getting help tonight, I don't want to stick around. I'll come back later. Sure. Because you're not just looking at gaming, whereas with Steels, it is more than just gaming, but it's the other thing is like gaming or like pro gaming / esports, right? Since you're looking at coding / game design, I'm going to recommend that you hold off until 9000 series launches. I did say that at the onset. What's up, Baruchu? How's it going? Your philosophy just got a... What philosophy are you talking about? Are you doing this again? What did what did I actually do here? Tasteful. What are you talking about? I don't think... Maybe I wasn't clear enough. Maybe I wasn't clear enough last time, okay? That we're here to talk about computers. You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. You don't know my philosophies. You don't know my political stances. That's all on purpose. Because it doesn't belong here. No one is being oppressed here. Nobody is being is being taught, like there are no groups of people being oppressed here. This is not your soapbox. So chill out, hang out, talk about computers, or leave. It's one thing to go to a public square, right? Town square. A protest in front of a courthouse. Protests in DC, right? Where things like that might be happening. But imagine this. Imagine you go to someone's birthday party, right? And you start, everyone's having a good time. And you're there like, I think that this and that, and you know what? No. And you start trying to start arguments. Whoever's that homeowner or whoever's there has every right to tell you to leave. And you have the obligation to then do so. Because that's not a place for that, is it? All right, you're out. If you ever, you know what? You can't actually, because no one's going to be able to read your chats anymore. Understand this, and everybody else, okay? Because, yeah, I don't really talk about this stuff, but there's something I'm going to make abundantly clear right now, okay? Okay. Everyone is welcome here. Everyone. This is a safe space for all. However you identify, whoever you are, however you feel about yourself, that is up to you to determine. It's not any of my business. And if you feel like however you are is something that is not welcome in society, it's welcome here. I don't care. As long as you're not hurting anybody else with whoever you are, if you're not if you are looking to be accepted and not turning around and not accepting other people, right? Like a hypocrisy kind of thing. If you're just trying to live your life and just trying to be happy, you have the right to that. The pursuit of happiness in this country, right? And you have the right to be who you are. And I want to encourage that. Nobody has the right to tell you who you are, ever. It's not that I am saying everyone should be this way or everyone should be that way. That's not my business. It is not my business to tell other people how to be in a free country or in the world at large. If you don't agree with something, fine. But never hurt other people based on that. Never try to tell other people how to be. This is me telling you how to be, right? That's kind of a conundrum there. That's a paradox right there. No, it's me telling you, be who you are and don't tell other people how to be, okay? And if you're like, well, who I am is someone who tells other people how to be, that is just a disposition. It's not the fiber of your being. And a disposition can be changed. You can decide to be an actual good person instead of trying to tell other people how to be or how not to be. That is not your place. I stand for human rights, for all rights. That includes trans rights. If you don't like that, get the hell out of my community. Everyone deserves the right to be happy, and you cannot decide that they're not allowed to be happy or be who they are. Stay in your own lane. Just let other people be and let them be happy. Why is that so hard for some people? If you don't like that I support the right to happiness and being who you are without someone coming in and be, I don't agree with that because a book told me so, or some dude on TV says it's bad. Okay, maybe like chill out and just live your own life, find your own happiness. But do not come in here and accuse me of and talk about my beliefs. You don't know me. Now you know a little bit more about me, don't you? I want people to be happy. I want them to be themselves. They have the right to do that. You don't have the right to take that away from them. And you don't get to use my platform as your soapbox. So, bye. Go be hateful elsewhere. I love people, all people. I believe that all people have that right to be whatever their fiber of themselves, whatever is intrinsic to them. If you suppress that, it's horrible. If it's allowed to flourish, that's beautiful. There's ugliness everywhere in the world if you allow it to be. But there can also, like, that doesn't have to be our lives. That doesn't have to be our society. But it's perpetuated all the time. And that breaks my heart. So, yeah, I don't make this a political platform. I talk about computers. But you know what? Now you know. I stand for human rights. And that especially includes trans rights, because I don't like the thought of an entire group of people being persecuted. Let's just make one quick example here, okay? Just one quick example, all right? And then we're done with that topic. This is stuff I don't talk about, but okay, Dr. Disrespect. It's caught and with some doing things he shouldn't have been doing, talking to someone he shouldn't have been talking to, especially in that way, right? Based on their age. It was inappropriate, it was wrong, and he was appropriately canceled for that. He no longer has a platform. Okay, good. I mean, I don't know all the facts, but people who know better than I do have those facts and said, no, this is a thing, he shouldn't have done that. And he did his thing, he was dropped from his game company, all that stuff, whatever. I don't talk about that stuff normally because I don't research it, okay? But then you had Ava from Mr. Beast's crew, who was doing very similar activities, although Ludwig did some research and I watched his stuff. I watched some of the people who did research on it and said, the messaging stuff was fake because of this, and that. But there was other stuff that was bad and they shouldn't have done that. But what is the narrative there? How does that change? What's the difference? Pay attention. Dr. Disrespect does it. Oh, he's a this. He's a pedo. He's this. Ava does it, and it's like all trans people are pedo. No. No one's looking at Dr. Disrespect and saying all heterosexual males are pedophiles. None. No one's doing that. The moment a trans person does it, it becomes the whole freaking group of people. That whole oppressed group of people are further oppressed. Every group of people has bad and good people. They're just people. Whatever they, however they see themselves, whoever they are. There are bad and good people all over the place. But I could not read the comments under Mr. Beast's announcement. I could not. Misgendering, bringing up the dead name, you don't do that, man. It's just so much ignorance. Whatever they did, that's bad and they shouldn't have done that, okay? But you have to understand that people who are good people that are also trans people will see that, and it's going to hurt them, to see this much hate. hate is it's a virus. It spreads. Hate just begets more hate, and it breaks my heart to see that. All right, I'm done. I'm done with that. Like, I doubt that being for human rights is career suicide for me. I doubt I'm going to be canceled for that. But if a few y'all feel like you're uncomfortable knowing this, I apologize that this made you uncomfortable. I didn't mean to fly off the handle like that. Clearly, this was not a prepared statement. And maybe I, slipped up here and there, said something incorrectly. And if that's the case, sorry about that. It was a spur of the moment thing, but there you go. All right, have a good night, Bray. Wanted to watch PC stuff, not this. Hey, same here. But this is not the first time this person's done that. And if they were never going to come back, they needed to hear that. So, and I don't know. We're done, though. We're back to it. And again, look, I'm going to tell you guys something. If you disagree with me, that's okay. You are allowed to have a differing opinion from me. As long as you don't hurt other people, I'm okay with that. All right? So just remember that. Don't hurt people you don't know just because you feel a certain way, but you are allowed to feel however you feel. And I respect that. But it's your actions. That's what matters. And if you're hurting other people, you need to reconsider your actions. Anyway, back to computer stuff, right? Cool. There it is. Okay, well, that was, I don't know. I won't say cathartic because I didn't want to. What the hell? There we go. I won't say cathartic, but I guess I needed to get that out there. I'm not going to beat around the bush when it comes to what I believe in. Okay. Hey, Steels, we're still helping you out. Hey, I know it should stay focused on PC stuff, and now that I've gotten that out there, I don't think I ever have to address it again. So, there you go. It was on my mind, I guess, but yeah. So we're doing a parts list here. Gaming / esports, 1440p in black, and no, you're not. You don't need a specific SI because you're not gonna get it pre-built for you. Okay. Where am I going? I'm going here. Sorry, I'm trying to get my thoughts back in order. Okay, looking at this, you do want the ability to upgrade your CPU over time. I was going to recommend a 7800X 3D anyway. And probably, because of the pro gaming esports thing, a Radeon GPU. Not gonna lie, guys, I'm kind of avoiding reading chat right now because I kind of put myself out there, and I feel like I might get my own feelings hurt if I go look in chat right now. I just want to talk about computers, man. That's all I want. Okay. CPU, 7800X 3D, Dungeon Rings. There you go. Black build. Braxton1823, thank you for gifting 5 Tier 1 subs to the community. Let's go, nerds! That is a Tier 1 sub for Carragers, for Coggle, Retro Got Sober, 2232 on TV, Bone Shock. Welcome to the Swarm. Oh my goodness. Now Deathly Nightshade has gifted 5 Tier 1 subs to the community. There's a Tier 1 sub for Sega. Oh, Sega. Hope he's doing well. Aeon Upheaval, Wolfcross, Icy Native, and Gargantulacon. Welcome to the Swarm. That's there we go. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You know, thank you. That kind of snapped me out of it a little bit, I think. Thank you. Yeah, keeping it fishy. I don't know the details of that. The main thing I was saying is like, look at the discourse. Whatever the results of it are, look at how it was handled. That's all. Okay. Yeah, that's why I wasn't looking at chat. I don't want to keep going in on that same topic. We're building a PC now. Michelle Melton, thank you for joining the Swarmies. Welcome to the Swarm. Appreciate that YouTube membership. I appreciate you. Solzden, right? You are after this. And even though my hard cutoff is usually midnight, I started an hour and 15 minutes late. We are going to go late tonight. No worries. So what we're looking for is a full-size ATX motherboard with a black-gray aesthetic. And I don't think we need X670E for just a gaming machine. That's a pretty solid one. We have a decent budget here. We really don't need to worry too much about that, but... Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate you. Igor coming in. What's up, Igor? 1980 coming in with 2 tier. You know what? We'll do this for Igor too. Of course. Igor, thank you for gifting 2 tier 1 subs to the community. Let's go, nerds. That's a tier 1 sub for Marauder and Earth Thunder 336. Welcome to the Swarm. I need to automate that better with the. I threw that together with the line, the speed lines, all that. All right, whatever. Okay. Yeah. So doing this B650E gaming Wi-Fi, Gigabyte B650 Gaming X. This is usually a solid choice. I think though, there's one I'm trying to remember because I haven't done a PC part picker list in a minute. You want something solid, but not crazy. You don't need a ton of I/O for a gaming machine. That's for sure. Gigabyte B650 Aeros Pro AX. That's a good one right there. We'll go with this. It's actually, no, B650 for that price? Nah, we're not going with that. That's a little bit high. 363 for it. Yeah, let's go by price here. All right. Something around the $200 to $250 range. Be the bee. Be the best bee you can be. I appreciate that. I hope you have a good night at work, Igor. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Hey, you helped out that hype train too. Thank you. Level 4. Have it, man. That's nice. Thank you, guys. I truly do appreciate you. Thank you for sticking it out through all that. Look at this. X670 is this the X Wi-Fi Gaming X. This X670 is cheaper than that B650 from Gigabyte. Maybe it's just mispriced or not on a good sale right now, but whatever. We'll go with the Gigabyte X670 Gaming X AX V2. That'll do the job. I'm on an all AMD build and it's been solid for me for 2+ years. Hell yeah, there you go. NVIDIA is still king for streaming. What is that? What is this thing about streaming? Got 25 years of drivers. Intel's playing catch up. Oh, so, okay. By the way, AMD has made huge leaps in streaming, and it's not actually fully because of AMD. It's because of the OBS update. Now you get the same multi-encoding locally happening, so transcoding on Twitch's end is not necessary. Plus 7000 series cards that have AV1, and I believe that's being implemented as well. So they're quickly becoming just as good as NVIDIA cards for streaming. That, to me, is the best news I've gotten in a while when it comes to graphics cards. I like Gigabyte motherboards, but I hear ASRock's very good. I mean, they all have their strengths. ASRock, they do a lot like more unique motherboards, which is pretty cool. Gigabyte makes solid motherboards with great I/O. They don't keep I/O behind a paywall, and I really like that. MSI is kind of the jack of all trades, where they kind of are good in a bunch of different ways. They're sort of the good all-arounder. And for really high-performance stuff, ASUS does well, but, you know, we need to see some work from them on their RMA process. It's not that any of these companies are exceptional RMAs. Let's be clear about that. Okay. Actually, ASUS might be a safer, an especially safe choice soon enough, because they're under the microscope in a way that the other motherboard manufacturers are not. So we should be able to come down here and choose Expo. No, did they not? I thought they had that here now. No, they don't. That's why I have to know what I'm looking at. Okay. So we're going to go with, let's go with G skill on this. Let me ask you a question real quick. I'm brand agnostic. I have Asus, MSI, Gigabyte. It's good to be brand agnostic. See who's doing the best at that time. That's what really matters. Steels. How do we feel about RGB? How important is that to you? Out of curiosity. I'm all ROG snob. That's cool. I mean, they have a design language that carries through all that. Yeah. Nugget RA here for you. Computers and inclusivity. Thank you for standing up for our community. There's a ton of platforms anyone can go to tonight, but we're all here with good company, and this should be a safe place for nerds and chat. Thank you, Bray. Thank you, Ari. Appreciate you. RGB grade software works. Yeah. Hey guys, thank you for the level 3 hype train. I appreciate you. Not an E motherboard. Maybe that is a big price difference. I mean, well, I mean, the other one was B650E, and this is X670. So it has more I/O. I mean, it's a high, or rather, it's higher end. I would like it, but okay, performance priority. Okay, it's not much of a price difference here when it comes to the memory. So let's just set our parameters here. Fast latency 30. 2 by 16, 32 gigs should be plenty for this. DDR5 6000, nice sweet spot there. And we need Trident Z5 Neo, meaning it has the Expo profile for AMD. And look at that. This is, compared to the G-Skill Flare, which is the other option from them, only a $7 difference. There you go. To get the RGB, to get that aesthetic, it's a good choice. Okay, storage. We'll get you a good solid Inland Performance Plus, 2 terabyte for now. We can always add to that later if we want to. But now we're getting to video cards. So, question for you, because you've selected the option for pro gaming / esports. I'm guessing you don't care as much about ray tracing, right? Like in cinematic AAA titles, things like that. Pro gaming esports is going to be all frames per second all the time, right? Yeah, Anton, that's why I'd probably look for like a Gigabyte GPU or something, or, you know, whatever. Actually, if it's going to be AMD, I don't know. Does Gigabyte do AMD? I don't know. Again, I'm a little brain shook right now, so I don't know. But yeah. You see a video by Tech Notice where he tried the advanced RMA service from ASUS and got like 3 or 4 used Pro ASUS boards that were DOA. Oh, that's crazy. I didn't see that, no. I mean, remember, Deathly Nightshade, what I was saying earlier about changes is that they do take time. So they're going to be feeling out this new whole system thing. So yeah. So you said yes. Does that mean you do care about ray tracing? Just to be clear. Just build a center around Call of Duty, so frames and smoothness are the goal. Okay. Okay. Well, I think we can probably do with this budget a 7900 XTX or maybe a 4080 Super. It's hard to say. But in terms of price of performance and rasterization, you're going to win with the 7900 XTX. They do have it, gigabyte. So you have gigabyte motherboard, gigabyte GPU. That's nice. Although it is like almost 80, well, it's $72 more than the ASRock one. But it's still not over what the original MSRP of $1,000 was, but under it by 20 bucks. Sure. Epoch, thank you very much. I will do that. You have my word. Tired of playing on my PC and have to set everything all low to get decent frames, but just here to learn? Don't mind me. Wolfcross, you are welcome here at all times. Anytime you want. I do sometimes lose sight of like, oh, got Asus motherboard, get Asus GPU. Gigabyte motherboard, gigabyte GPU. You know? It's not always going to be an option, especially if you go with something that's not going to be one of the major manufacturers like your Sapphire or something like that. Major motherboard manufacturers, that kind of thing. Okay, now the supremely subjective part of the build, which, by the way, we have all of our main components done. CPU, motherboard, RAM, storage, and GPU. We just need a power supply for that. And then we have all the major components. But we're still at only $1,829 out of a $3,300 budget. Let's go nerds. There's nerds with an accent, okay? I don't know what else it would be. That's what I have heard about ray tracing, but I'm not knowledgeable enough to know the difference, to be honest. Well, 7000 series Radeon cards are a lot better than the 6000 were at ray tracing. They are catching up to NVIDIA, but NVIDIA is they're in their third generation of hardware accelerated ray tracing. AMD is in their second generation. There's a natural benefit there. There's a natural advantage there. But, like, you game on this thing, it's going to blow your mind. 7900 XTX is bonkers. It is a very powerful card. Again, we'll go back to this. I mean, it beats out everything but the 4090, which in this case is probably out of budget. So it is out of budget for this system here. So, because you can't ignore your CPU for a pro gaming / esports system. You need to have a strong CPU and GPU here. Going with 4090, you're going to have to make some sacrifices elsewhere, probably, maybe. Safest bet is to go with the absolute top dog, all AMD system. There's people who have this and absolutely love it. But yeah, it's time for the subjective part, which is the case. This is where you choose how your PC is going to look. You chose a black system, so we're going to go ahead and narrow down by color there. There we go. Black case. There we go. However, from there, I need to know, do you prefer to have like the sort of front glass, side glass, so you can see your whole system, that kind of thing? Or do you just want pure performance? Up to you. SSA would have it be the King 95. That is a very aesthetic case. I would raise you on that SSA and say King 95 Pro, but hey, you know, who knows? Maybe you just didn't type those 3 letters. Ray tracing a COD is garbage anyways. It makes like little to no difference in how it looks. Yeah, fair. Just turn it off then. Fell in love with that Y70. It is a really nice case, and the improvements they made on the Y60 were very, very nice and pronounced. I like that. Although it was I say pronounced. It was subtle in a way. But when I say it's pronounced in the build experience, it's really nice. Some of the changes they made, and in the aesthetics, it's nice. It's just great overall. I've been looking a lot at the H9 Flow. I'm glad you said Flow there. I'm not a big fan of NZXT's Elite line of cases. I've said it before. I'll say it again. And NZXT is nice enough to let you know when their cases have bad airflow. They just put the word Elite in the name of it. I guess I couldn't say it has improved. So maybe not bad, but not great. Okay, H9 Flow, there it is. Let's just click NZXT, see if there are alternate options for the H9 Flow. I personally am a big fan of the H6 Flow. I think that's an awesome case. It's not as large as the H9, but yeah. They also have a new H7 Flow RGB that just came out in 2024. New fans, new features in the case, really nice. But H9 is what you want? H9 is what I'm putting in there. I was talking about the one with 6 fan. If that's the Pro, then yes, that's the one with the 6 fans in. The non-Pro comes with, I think, no fans. H9 Flow. Is there an H9 Flow RGB? I'm just trying to get you some RGB in there. Nope, there ain't. Well, you can always swap out the fans if you're doing the build yourself anyway. There you go. Because this comes with 4 fans, but they're all non-RGB, just black fans in there, and you can swap those out very easily. But yeah, if you already had a case in mind, I'm down with that. Very cool. We can pick some case fans to dress it up a bit. And if you want, we go with all NZXT stuff for your CPU cooler, for your case fans, everything. Because we might be running a little lean here, because with that case you do have to buy fans. But let's see what we can do. Power supply, I'm gonna need at least I'm gonna put at least 1,000 watts in this. It'll run on 850, but I like to have a little extra overhead in there, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. So let's put it to 1,000 watts, and then I don't look for it. Oh, I'm not gonna do that, but well, I did do that, but yeah. Seasonic Vertex GX 1000. Seasonic is always a safe bet there for power supplies. Oh, this is the one you want. Okay, it says ATX 3.0. That's not just a 12 VH PWR connector. There are other bits inside the the PSU that are also beefed up a bit. So yeah. And then there's yeah, this will do right here. Okay. Wait. I don't know why I was thinking. Did something happen to the price here? Because I thought we were like higher than this. No, I guess not. Oh, we got plenty for the build still. What am I talking about? Did I do something wrong here or something? No, this looks correct. Okay, well, sure. I guess maybe there's room for more GPU after all. We'll see if that's even needed. NZXT, bam. Don't think I would put the Kraken Elite. I would do the Kraken the new Kraken 360. This one here still has a screen on it. I would do the black one as well. Do they not have there we go. Kraken 360 RGB, bam, and then we'll get matching fans, and you'll be good to go. Yeah, wait. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I guess I read the amount wrong. Where 3,300 is the budget, so we can put a 4090 in here if you want. I'd probably beat this up to 1,200 watts if we do that, but yeah, let's go do that. As long as they're available at the right price. So let's change this up. 4940? No, that's like 50 years in the future. There we go. 4090. Price. There we go. Now for this, I might not do the gigabyte card, and there's a reason for that. There were some issues with some of the PCBs cracking on those. So instead, PNY Verto right here, 1738.99. It's a straight up black card there. No frills, just solid aesthetics, solid performance. That'll definitely do the job. But you can change it for a different one if you feel like that. I'm going to take this one off. There you go. Now you have the highest performance GPU on the market. And we're 3107. We just need to add some fans, and we are Dunyan Rings, baby. There you go. Death Day actually says PNY. Well, I just saw that. If you know, and I'm glad we agree. Just got done helping my buddy build him and his brother a gaming PC, and they got the King 95 Pro, and it's really nice. They got a 4080 Super. They want a content creation AI generator. Nice, very cool. Also gaming. What CPU did they go with? Okay, case fans, brand, and the NZXT. Not always easy to find like 3 packs of fans on here, but I guess you can choose the ones that you like the aesthetic of more. If you like the halo look, you can do that. Or if you like, if you want them to match the AIO fans, then you would need to get the core fans. So we want 120 millimeter, right? Let me look at the case really quick, actually. Okay, so they don't have the fan specs here, do they? No, okay. I'm just wondering if they do 140 or 120s only. Okay, they're all 120 millimeters in there already. They look like they fit really snugly, so probably 120s all around. Yep, 120, 120. You can put 2 140s on the bottom, but I would just keep them all 120 millimeter fans. Your radiator's going to go on the top there. There you go. Case fans. So if we match them up, we would do the core fans, right? NZXT core, RGB. 120, brand, NZXT. What I'm looking for is a 3-pack of these. And then you get 2 of those. You will get this one. You get a single one for the rear exhaust, right? Cool. All right. But then we need to get the full pack of them. 2 of the 3 packs is what you'll want. So we go to, let's see, where was I? Here. Bam. Collapse that again. Hit 120. And let's try selecting 3-pack. I don't think they'll show up. All right. But if you look at NZXT's website, components, RGB fans. Oh, that's right. They have these now. They have the basically the unibody fans is what they are. You can basically get these, and you just put in 4 screws, and you have mounted 3 fans. It has 2 wires instead of, 6 wires to manage. I would do these right here, and the look should match the AIO. So you get these for the side and for the bottom, and then you have that 1 rear fan for the back. I don't think this was featured on PC Part Picker, but they released these, and they should be available. Add to cart. Yes, they are available. There you go. So you get 2 of these, and then you have the 1 fan for the back. There you go. Let's get rid of 3-pack here. And what do they call these? They call these F360s. F360. Nope, they're not on PC Part Picker. Sorry. But I'll just give you this link right here to this. Yeah, I'm not recommending until we see how the microcode update does in mid-August, and we get reporting back on that, which could take a week or so or longer. I'm just not comfortable recommending high-end Intel CPUs at the time, and I think that's fair to say. Now, one cool thing about this is they made the rear of it look nice, because on the side intake, you're going to want them to be facing like this towards the inside of the case, because then it's intake. Same thing on the bottom, but at least there's no random wires hanging out anywhere on the back of this. It is nice and solid looking. So that's just how it's going to need to look if you want them all to be matching fans. There you go. So I'll give you a link to this. They do not make them in reverse. I have a rep that I talked to at NZXT, super cool dude. And when I first started talking to him, the Fantex reverse flow fans had come out. Leanly was going to be releasing theirs. I was like, dude, are you guys going to do reverse flow fans? And he was like, that's not currently in development. But he told me about the unibody fans, these, and it was like a year before they came out. So I knew about it pretty far in advance, but I was like, come on, man. Reverse is the way. Oh, well, it's whatever. So that's did I put the link here? 7900 X3D. Okay. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. Hope if you want to have Bray help you with ability, fill out the form, join the queue. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we have Discord. Hi, for those who have general tech questions or just want to see what other fellow nerds are up to. Thank you, Ari. Look at that artist badge you got there. Love that. And that you had you signed off with a little vibrating RGB there because he's shaking. He was too excited about computers. So great. I wish they made him reverse. I'm out, bro. Hit the wall. Keep it up. I'm out. You got it, Braxton. Hello, Gary. How's it going? No idea. I honestly, it was very frustrating because while I was at Computex, there were so many booths I wanted to go to that I didn't go to. I didn't visit Lee and Lee. I didn't visit, although I did go to the Lee and Lee gathering, so that counts. I did schmooze them a little bit there, but I didn't visit Montech. I really wanted to. I almost didn't get to even visit Be Quiet and their new awesome case that they're coming out with. So I don't know. I don't have a contact to get any to market dates on any of that stuff. Michael Perrin, I appreciate you coming in and saying hi. Hello, right back at you. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so did I keep forgetting if I put the link in there or not. Let's do it again. All right, so that's the link to your fans that you can get for your side intake and bottom intake. All right. You can also get a third one and put this on your AIO if you want, or just use the ones that come with it. You shouldn't have to do that. However, in the build, I do include the single rear exhaust fan that will match the fans on the AIO that already come with it. That's it. That's the whole build, and we came in at about $160 under budget. There you go. Actually, that's without these included. So with 2 of these, we're going to be about $20 under budget. So that's, I don't know, even better. We min-maxed it. That's what I like to do. And that's with a 4090 and a 7800X 3D. That's insane. That is crazy. When I tell you guys building it yourself, you can get more for your money, I'm not joking around. Don't compare this to a boutique builder, though. I would compare this, if you're trying to compare prices, to a high-volume seller like Skytech or iBuyPower, if you want to see a more reasonable difference between an SI and boutique builders, by and large, are going to have the boutique tax on there as well. But you do get the ownership experience of having a boutique build, working directly with people that it's usually easier to get support, reach out to them, things like that. One person builds a PC from start to finish, all that stuff. I'm not talking about that right now, really, but I just wanted to clarify a little bit. Let's save this. And it is saved under your name there, and I'm going to give you the link. Okay. All right, so that's that build. I really haven't done many tonight, but then it is late, and I started late, and we're going to go an extra hour and 15 minutes or so past the hard cutoff of midnight because I started an hour and 15 minutes late. But if we run out of people to help out, then I will end it in the normal time, whenever that happens. But Steels, there you have it. No problem. Happy to help, as always. And here's what you should do. Once you have this thing built, we have a rigs channel in the Discord. You can share this thing. And I keep saying this, but with everything, with pre-built, rebuilt, all that, and all these things going on that I'm juggling, I haven't gotten around to doing it. But I would like to make a video at some point just going through the rigs channel and just seeing what people have for a video. That'd be super fun. So if you want to be part of that, be sure to, get your rig and your setup, take pictures, all of that. Maybe a little explainer as to what you have as a text thing, and put that in the rigs channel so everybody knows what you got. And it doesn't matter whether it's a $800 PC or a $4,000 PC. It does not matter. It is yours. Be proud of it. All right. That is why whenever I will do a montage, it doesn't matter what it doesn't have to be, all top end hardware, super boutique PC, or whether it's that, or an $1,100 Skytech budget PC or something like that. Doesn't matter to me. I'll spend the same amount of time making an awesome montage because everyone should be able to watch that and be like, I could get something that cool. Whatever. Soulsden, your time has come. Let's go. Yo, my turn. I know it. I figured you'd still be here. Gonna skip 4090. It only 5 months away. if you're okay, say Steels, like say for instance on your build, you're like, I want this build, but I don't want to buy the 4090 because they might have a 5090 soon or whatever. All I'm gonna say is this: and then you could get something like I'm gonna get just like a 4060 right now, and then later on I'll upgrade to whatever that is and give my little cousin the 4060, whatever. Anyway, if you're excited about that, don't expect it this year, okay? Unless by some miracle, NVIDIA decides that they don't want to continue focusing all of their attention and work on printing money by focusing on data center AI stuff and all that. That's their focus right now. And I honestly, I don't like it, but I can't really fault them for it. It makes a ton more money than GeForce does. If you're excited about 50 series, just keep an eye on things in January, February. Okay, that's my guess is either announcement or launch around that time. I can't be sure, but that's the best I can do for you. Absolutely will. I'm super excited to get this done. I've been toying with the idea of building a PC for about 3 years. I'm finally deciding to pull the trigger. That is awesome. That is awesome. Proud of you. That's great. And honestly, like, understand this. Like, if I say something like that about someone who's going DIY, that doesn't mean that when you guys decide, when I help you with something on a pre-built and you're like, I feel confident enough to buy this, and maybe you get it to where you might be doing upgrades later or not, or whatever. I'm always happy to help more people join the PCMR and get into PC gaming, or start their game design journey, or start making music, or whatever you're going to do with it. I am happy to help with that. It makes me happy to help with that. But Solsden, let's talk about your build here. So you're up there in Canada, eh? Okay. Now, this budget, is that in US dollars or in Canadian rubles? Jack Cram, thanks for the advice. You're welcome. So roast time? Is it roast time? Who's getting roasted? I mean, maybe. We'll see. Hey, Bray, good to see you on stream again. Currently got a 7.5K Australian dollars for a build. Can easily pull trigger now, but not sure whether to wait for the 50 series or not. That I cannot tell you. I cannot. Actually, it's funny because I only brought up the 50 series thing because someone in Twitch chat mentioned it. Aeon Upheaval mentioned it. I didn't even see the YouTube chat that with you saying that. But I'm glad I accidentally addressed that for you. But yeah, you can get yourself a low-end GPU to just get off the ground and get running right now. And if you're going to get a 50 series card, you should probably get an NVIDIA GPU, so you don't have to worry about like completely wiping drivers and all that. Not always a bad idea, but just wait for the pre-built rebuilt episode on upgrading your GPU for that information, or find another guide on the driver removal tool. But yeah, SS8, no, I have not, and that's because the first batch of episodes was planned to be sponsored by Deepcool. And all the production work I had done so far was with that in mind, and I have to start from scratch now. I did, sorry. That's what I did with my used $50 1080 Ti. And, oh, there you go. Okay. Did I miss something? Oh, that was earlier when the gifted subs are happening. Gonna take a lot of patience too, but yeah, that's the plan for me too. Ryzen 9 and 1590. I'm sorry, oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. It's okay. Like, I'm not gonna force it if it's not right. Like, I'd rather do it right than do it right now. That's how I usually feel about things like that. My actual budget is under 6,000 US dollars. So max is 6,000 then, or $59.99, I guess. Here. There we go. Okay. And you wanted Falcon Northwest. Is that correct? Not Digital Storm. If it's between Falcon Northwest and Digital Storm, that's easy. It's Falcon Northwest. That's... Sorry. And I honestly should probably reach out to Digital Storm. I met one of the higher-ups from there at CES. They gave me their card, and I still haven't reached out to them. It's just that there's just some certain things that they do that just, I need to get a better understanding of Digital Storm's mindset, the people running the place over there, because that generally will help me understand some decisions that have been made that I didn't like in the past. It helps. But between Falcon Northwest and Digital Storm, sorry DS, but yeah. Yo, how about that? All right. Yeah, it looks like we got Blaze Bitch raiding with a party of 7. Let's go, nerds. Welcome, Raiders. Thanks for coming in and joining our little computer party. Ooh, a shout out there, see what you were doing. Oh, science and technology. Okay. What were you doing? What science was happening? I agree, Braithorn. 5090, we don't know when it happens, all rumors of, but having a temporary build until then is a good plan. Yeah, I mean, you could always even do a used GPU at that, you know, in the interim. Take it, put it in a home theater PC, or give it to someone who is doing a build of their own, something like that. But I will say this: everyone's talking 5090. First off, you probably don't need a 5090. Most people don't need a 4090. Didn't need a 3090 when it was a thing. But the other side of that is they're not releasing the 5090 first. They're releasing the 5080 first. That's going to be the first thing. Don't ask me why. That I do not know. We do hacker shenanigans while building out a window lab to test security tools. Need is a strong word. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hacker shenanigans. Okay, pen testing, things like that. Or a little bit more dubious. You know what? Don't tell me. Plausible deniability. I should have plausible deniability. There you go. Red teaming stuff. Sick. I wish I had gotten more into that back when I was in my formative IT years. I think I would have enjoyed it, but I was really just trying to get my foot in the door in terms of just IT in general, break fix stuff, all that. That was what I think I excelled at, was like, oh, there's a problem with this. Yeah, all right, it's working. That's kind of what drew me to it, you know, and also taking complex concepts and explaining them in a simple way was something I've always had a liking for. So that was I was in a good place for that too. And now I'm in an even better place for it because I make PC-centric YouTube content for noobs, self-professed noobs. Anyway, I did general IT for years, then blue teaming, but moved to offensive security about 6 years ago. Hello, Franklin Mom. Thanks for coming in. And all Raiders, just so you know who I am this guy, Braithorn, right here. And I help people who are new to PCs find, get either the right pre-built for them, which for most people is the best gateway to get into PC gaming or PC DIY or whatever your little heart desires with your computer. Or put together a parts list for people trying to do their first builds or not first builds. Whatever the case is, I just, I like to help with that. It's fun for me. So yes, as I was saying, Solsden, between Digital Storm and Falcon Northwest, it's Falcon Northwest all the way. As long as you like their cases, because they only use the cases designed by the founder of Falcon Northwest, who is an aeronautical engineer. And you can only get the cases from them, and they will not use any cases but their own. Which, good thing they're good, because otherwise that would be bad. Setting for Sec 701, Sec plus 701. Nice. Okay. I'm behind on all that. You could throw terminology at me. There's like, I get basic concepts and all that, but I haven't messed with it since my college days, which are a depressingly long time ago. A lot of stuff has probably changed since then. Okay, so let's check out Falcon Northwest. We're doing a system that is for gaming and coding / game design. Now, here's a fun fact for you, Solsden. By the way, I'm also streaming on YouTube, and the person I'm talking to currently is in YouTube chat. You won't see them up here. Sorry about that. Or over here in this, where you are, right? But so if you hear me talking to someone who you're not seeing the words for, I'm not crazy, I promise. But yeah, what I was going to say was, Soulsden, we can do this build at Falcon Northwest, and then you can just follow along to sort of have it in your cart. But then after the launch of 9000 series Ryzen, which I think you're going to get benefits for coding/game design at that point, unless you do a 7950X 3D, which is going to beat the 9950X in gaming. But in other use cases, you're not going to have to worry about core parking, okay? Which is something you have to worry about with the 7950X 3D. Anyway. But we can do the whole configuration, and then when 9000 series is launched, you can just go in and change it to that, and the rest of the system should stay the same. There's not going to be any of the new motherboards launched until like late September, so then besides which, there's not really much new to them anyway. Same number of PCIe Gen 5 lanes, it really doesn't make a difference in the big picture. It will be wise to submit when the R9 gets released with a future 5080/90 swap in the future. I mean, perhaps, unless you don't want to wait that long. That's the thing, is I will advise, like, hey, if the 5080, 5090 were right around if they were a month away, 2 months away, I'd say wait. But looking at this right here, where it says coding/game design, having the system for 5-6 months before that, or 5 months before that, I should say, because we're thinking January, February for 50 series, right? Could be more valuable than the performance boost between the 4090 and the 5090, or 4090 and the 5080 or whatever. God, please don't do like the same thing like with the 4080 and 4080 12 gig. God, what a travesty. And no, like, I think everyone kind of forgot about that too, which they shouldn't. It's hilarious. All right, bam, let's go. Falcon Northwest, the OGs, the inventors of the gaming PC system integrator. Whoa, all right. Okay, stranger on my desktop, weird. Okay, Talon, Falcon Northwest Talon, the standard right here. This is what I'm working on right now. I'm using right now. And just to be clear, real quick, I do like to show this, but if you have, stop, just wait. There we go. If you have a specific design in mind, you too could get one of these UV prints. And I have a particular one that sticks out to me as my favorite. I don't know why. Something about this one just speaks to me, you know, on like a visceral level. I don't know what it is. No idea, honestly. But yeah, you can have something like that done. Pretty sick. Their UV printing is really.
We have technology.
All right, I think we're clear. Gary, thank you very much. I think you're like the only person that uses Tangia. But Ray, have you ever wanted to do a fun time, free time challenge to compose a character aesthetic theme build within a budget? That is okay. So it's funny, Ari, that you brought that up. Thank you. But the thing is, that's actually pretty easy if you go with an SI that does things like this. Now, the within a budget thing, get yourself a Funko Pop, basically, because on a budget, if you have a $3,000 budget, okay, and you spend $100 on extra little bonus aesthetic things, or $200 or whatever, that doesn't make nearly as much of a difference in the performance as if you have a $1,000 budget and you spend $100 or $150 on aesthetic stuff. Ooh, suddenly it's 10-15% of your whole budget. But that could be fun for like a DIY thing. I think that would be fun. What's up, Aki? How you doing? Welcome. Yeah, I like their cases as well, and it's small, easy to carry. I move a bit frequent. Oh, is that the case? Because you know they have the frag box, right? Now, there's no frag box here with, you know, the Bray of Thorn, art on there, the printing on there. But maybe there will be one soon. Who knows? If only there was some kind of new things launching that would justify another review unit. I don't know. By the way, Gaben uses Falcon Northwest. So does Dr. Lisa Sue. I mean, a lot of big names do. It's kind of the go-to for that kind of thing. Anyway, let's get back to the okay. So yeah, this is the frag box. This right here fits full-size GPUs. You might be a little bit more limited on, I mean, what did you use for the motherboard? Is it, let's configure it and see. Is it MATX? It might be MATX. Ryzen 7000 series, soon to be 9000 series. But this has a handle on it. This is meant to be a LAN system for LAN parties. Okay. If you know, which is just fun all around. The fact that they have a system dedicated to that is just the best. But motherboard, it is, yes, MATX. You get an MATX motherboard. And the GPU goes up to a 4090 in a portable system with a freaking handle on top. All you need to do is go to PC World and read the review on the most recent frag box. You would be sold. Think I like the Talon better? All right, you got it. It is smaller than the average mid-sized tower, so that is good. But I will say this: it is not lightweight whatsoever, if that's what you're looking for. Their cases are like thick aluminum plating for the panels. It is nuts. I think, what is it? How many millimeters thick is the top plate? 4 or 5 millimeter thick aluminum? Hold on, listen to this. See if you can hear this. That's me knocking on the top of my PC, okay? It is crazy solid. It's something. Naked Jakey, what's up? How's it going? Wait, what happened? I was supposed to take the security 601 yesterday, but the test center closed, but didn't report it to Pearson. And now I am waiting to get a new voucher. And 601 retired today. Then I have to study for the 701. That sucks. Oh, that is not good luck right there. And rude, they didn't report their closing. No kidding. Good Lord. Okay, thank you. How are you? Doing good. Doing good. Just looking at my buddies over here, Falcon Northwest. We're going to be doing Talon here. So let me see. What are some of these other ones? AMD Advantage Premium Certified Talon. That's interesting. I wonder what the difference is. Fastest Ryzen CPU and Radeon GPU in the most powerful AMD gaming platform. Okay. Well, we'll have more options if we go with the standard one, but it's cool to see that there. Yeah, they have certain things in place to help you move the PC. If you look at, so I have an unboxing of the Talon, a stream. If you want to experience that and see that, it was fun. I was actually still in my previous house at the time. But then I have a video where I was swapping out my 13900KS for a 14700K. This is something that Kelt put me up to. Kelt Reeves, the founder of the Falcon Northwest. It's just a really, really fun dude who was like, yeah, you want it? You want to test it out? Yeah. This was before all the, the issues we were aware of the issues and stuff. But the thing worked great for a long time. And I didn't actually use it for a long time. I switched to he then sent me a 14900K. He's like, well, suck. I want to have you on an i9. I sent that out and I swapped that out. But that video is fun because you get to see the inside of it a lot, quite a bit. Fun montage doing that. Anyway, RGB chassis logo insert side panels. You can choose between having all aluminum side panels. Like if you're concerned about moving all the time and you go with solid aluminum side panels on both sides, there you go. You're not going to you don't have to worry about glass breaking, but it is also very thick glass too. But you can do both sides in glass or just the side that's going to show you your internals for the PC. That's options right there. Custom UV prints right there. But we're going to get to the good stuff here. Let's get to our internals. So if you're going 4090, I would say 1200 watts would be the way to go. Not necessary, but nice to have that extra overhead. You can run an 850 watt power supply with a 4090, but I wouldn't do that. I like to have extra overhead in the power supply. If you're, with what you're doing, coding/game design and gaming only, you're not going to need anything above the X670E-E. That's already a very kitted out motherboard for the AM5 platform. So I wouldn't change that. Then I would go, here's where you have to make, well, you don't really have to make a choice here, because if you're going to wait for the 9950X to get the extra, you know, performance in code compiling and stuff that it's probably going to have, then I would just choose for now the 7950X 3D, because it's going to have a similar price to the 9950X. If you want that extra gaming performance, however, from the 3D cache, then you stick with this and you'll be fine. If you're not running a game, then Xbox Game Bar is not going to cause the system to park those 8 non-3D cache cores, turning it into a 7800X 3D, essentially. You'll have all 16 cores regardless. The core parking thing, it makes me hesitate. I don't recommend this CPU to those who are streaming, because if you're streaming gameplay, you're losing 8 cores. Just get a 7950X at that point, or 9950X now in 14 days. Because then you get the full 16 cores and you still get great gaming performance. But they don't have the non-3D cache version here. So, oh, they do. It's right there. Hello, 7950X. Anyways, there's enough about that. Their proprietary 280mm Falcon Northwest liquid cooler, which is cooling a 14900K right now, I might add. So it does the job for sure. That's what happens when you don't just put holes in the case, and instead you design the airflow to work to a certain purpose in a certain way. Now for the RAM, I don't know. I don't know what you would prefer, because I don't know, in that coding/game design option that you chose, what are you doing there? What is that actually going to involve? If it's going to be like doing complex 3D level design, things like that, you know, don't underdo it on the RAM. Give more, you know, you never know. If you're going to be running a lot of things at once, mostly that's what RAM is best for, is then you want to get the 64 gigs. Why not? It's very much within budget. 64 gigs, you got it. And of course, this is DDR5 6000, so that's going to be the sweet spot for your Ryzen 7000 and probably, hopefully, still Ryzen 9000 series. It'll be able to handle much faster RAM, but I hope they don't change the sweet spot, because, like, that'd be annoying. It'd just be annoying to just have to remember that. I'm just being, yeah. 4090, there we go. And that's it. That's the system. That's the budget. Operating system drive is already a 2 terabyte Kingston Fury Renegade. You don't need to change that. That's probably going to be all you need for what you're doing. And of course, you can add storage. It's one of the easiest things to do, is adding more storage. I see these Micron Pro drives here, the 15 terabyte, and I'm like, $3,200 for that drive. Good Lord. But it's fast and it's big. Well, it's not physically big, the capacity's big. There you go. We managed to be just $10 over budget. But yeah, we went up to the 1200 watt power supply. We stuck with the same motherboard. We bumped it up to the 7950X 3D, which, to be clear, would do a great job of what you're trying to do already, and probably be better at gaming than the 9000 series, the Ryzen 9 9950X that's coming out, because 3D cache just does that. It games, right? Plus, you still have 16 cores. However, if your priority is going to be coding and game design, maybe you want to wait for 9000 series, see what those uplifts in IPC are going to do for you. Now, I don't think I can share this system with you. What you'll want to do is this. I'm going to give you this link that you can click. We'll just go through the options real quick and you can follow along, but we really didn't change much because they already know how to spec a system over there at that place called Falcon Northwest. Decal is amazing. You're talking about the UV printing? Yeah. They do really good work with that. Oh, the best part is they didn't take responsibility, and I'm weirdly okay with it because I wasn't studying as hard, and now this feels like I got a break, and now I can focus on studying for the 701. Very cool. That's, you know what? I have to say, that's a positive disposition. I like to see that. Make that lemonade, you know what I mean? Life served you lemons, you're making lemonade. It's always good to see. BlazeBits, thank you, by the way, for bringing up that YouTube link. That is where, you know, a lot of the action happens. We are, it's a weird time right now with posting my normal series, SI Weekly, which is about system integrators and finding pre-builts and stuff like that, because of the launch in 14 days of new CPUs from AMD. But there's some really cool content always on the horizon, coming soon. Lemonade does sound good though, but I got my bubbly water. Ari, you right though, you right. East Coast here, heading to bed. Thanks for another insightful night of builds. Thank you for another stream of you hanging out. That was probably the most awkward way to say that, and I'm oddly proud of it. Okay, so Solsden, let me know when you're ready just to verify the settings that I have here. Of course, with things like the side panels, you choose however you want it configured. You can actually get it with both the solid aluminum side panels and the tinted glass side panels if you want. So you can swap them out depending on your mood that day. One thing I will say about the Talon that's really nice is it's small. It's not a small form factor case. It's full ATX, but it's smaller in terms of how the size of a lot of mid towers are. So I have it mounted under my sit stand desk, and it sits there beautifully. Like it fits in that frame really nicely because it's not the biggest case out there. It's about the size of a little smaller than a Landcool 216, I think. I would have to look at the dimensions to be sure. Okay, Solzden, since you're there on the YouTube stream, I guess you could just go rewind in the VOD just to look at all the options I chose. And I don't know why I forgot that was totally a thing you could do. So there you go. And we are at the limit of the budget, but if you decide that you want to add more storage or anything like that, that is going to be up to you. Now, one thing I want to note is that the warranty with Falcon Northwest is kind of crazy. They do something that nobody else does. For the entirety of the first year, which Falcon Northwest is like, hey, if anything's wrong in the first year, that shouldn't be a thing. Like we want to make sure that's fixed. So they actually will pay for overnight shipping in the first year to them and back to you. I don't know if that goes for Canada as well, but I don't know. It's a little late to reach out to Kelt now, but I'll ask him. I'm curious about that. I'll ask him about that later. But I know they ship worldwide, so I have to imagine that maybe it counts for that too. Either way, their support is very, very good. And I mean, it's not just a 1-year warranty, I believe. Let me actually verify what the warranty is real quick. Support, help topics, warranty info. Look at how easy that was to get to. It says Mach 5 there. Please, Falcon Northwest, bring in a new version of the Mach 5. Super towers are in these days. Come on. Or just larger towers in general. I don't know. Doesn't have to be a super tower. I just want something. I like cases where I can put in additional storage easily, not where it's like kind of tight. They do make it easy to add a SATA drive. That is nice. Okay, warranty for a 3-year period that will cover the system, parts, and labor. 3 years parts and labor is very good. 3 years parts and labor plus Falcon overnight service. Described in detail below. Let me see. Falcon overnight service and all other warranty covered shipping costs are limited to the continental USA. Okay, so that's continental USA instead. I don't know. Maybe you could bring it across the border or something. Because when you think about it, if they were to cover shipping back to you, that would mean they probably have to cover duties too, which is like, just drive it across the border and then ship it. I don't know. I don't know what part of Canada you're in, but yeah. What's up, Hayden? How you doing? Welcome. But all right, I can't do a link. So if you have any questions whatsoever about the build we just did, let me know. But yeah, you're all set. You can just rewind through the stream and see all the little options I did there. Let's get you copied over. Wait, what happened? I lost my spreadsheet because I clicked instead of opening a new tab. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. By the way, Michelle, I don't know if you're still here. Michelle Melton Let me know if you're still here because I started late. We are going late. And if you're still here, you'll just be the last person I help. Let me know if you're still here so we can do that. Yeah, I've only helped 3 people tonight. That doesn't feel right. I know that there was definitely a distraction at one point. Sorry about that, guys. I am. I'm sorry I flew off the handle there, but I'm passionate about certain things for very important reasons. That's all I'll say. Oh, there you are. Okay, cool. Let's get into it. Let's do this then. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say the same thing, basically, that I say whenever it's not just a gaming PC. You probably heard me mention this a couple of times. My recommendation is going to be to wait to see reviews, third-party reviews on 9000 series processors. Wait for that launch. It's either going to, because here, when you select here that yes, you are interested in upgrading your CPU over time, that means you're going AMD in the current market, how that is. Plus, with all the issues currently plaguing Intel CPUs, high-end Intel CPUs, I'm not really recommending those until the microcode update is validated and shows that it makes a good change. But because gaming is not even mentioned here, I'm willing to bet that this system's going to do better with a one of the new processors. But what we can do, because we're doing a parts list from Micro Center, I hadn't done one of these yet tonight, so I'm excited about that, okay? Believe it or not. We can do the build, select all the parts, and just substitute in the CPU whenever it's launched. Oh, if I'm tired? No, it's okay. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good right now. Okay, doing system in black. Okay, now because as I've mentioned before, the budgets are in increments of $500. There's not a lot of room for granularity there. Plus, it's 4,000 or more is what you chose. What is the actual max budget for your system? I'm gonna tell you right now, 4,000 is pretty much all you need to get a maxed out system at Micro Center in most cases. But yeah, if it's 4,500 or 5,200 or whatever the maximum budget is, please let me know so I can update that in the spreadsheet, and then we can commence to build. Upper limit 6.5K. Wow. Awesome. Okay. That's way more than you need for Micro Center, I'll tell you that. Now, although in this case though, there's probably not going to be any bundle deals for like 9000 series when that launches. But yeah. Oh, really? A pop-up now? No. You guys didn't do that, but don't do that. You're better than this. Maybe. I actually don't know. Okay. Duluth. There we go. And we're going, oops. There we go. PC build, custom PC builder. Switch it over to dark mode. And commence to build. I'll see if there's a bundle. I don't think we need to worry about that. And yeah, I don't know why I'm looking at that, because there's probably not going to be bundle deals right off the bat. Maybe. It is Micro Center. They do crazy stuff. So maybe. 7950X 3D, X670E Mag Tomahawk Wi-Fi, and 32 gigs of RAM. That's not how I would really spec this out necessarily, but it's close. And also, it's probably not going to be valid for the build we're talking about. So we'll go to the CPU. I'm going to put in the 7950X 3D because it's currently the highest priced consumer desktop processor. And that's closest to what the 9950X is going to be if you go that route. I think I said it was going to be $699. I don't know. But that's what the 7950X was originally, was around that. So if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while. It's been like 2 years since that launch. Good Lord. RGB is not a big deal for you. I'll go with your point of view. Okay. So it can be blackout build. Those can be fun to do. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. Yeah, but really, sky's the limit. We can max out all the sliders creating this thing, because $6,500 is bonkers for Micro Center. But let's get into it. Let's see here. But you could also go a little too crazy and just overdo it. What we're doing though is coding / game design, which is cool to see again. I have to wonder how much of this is Thor's fault. How many people are like, I want to get into coding game design because of Thor, because the dude blew up. He is good at getting people on that path and inspiring them to really get started. Like, I admire that quite a bit. What program, by the way, are we talking about for 3D design, out of curiosity? Also, out of the fact that it says, please specify application in chat, but I just hadn't asked yet. I'm working in Nuke, Unreal Engine, Substance Painter, and Maya. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of stuff. I'll have to check him out. Oh yeah, it's under. He goes by Pirate Software. If you watch YouTube's shorts or TikToks and stuff, and like you follow things that are tech related or programming related, game design related, things like that, he's gonna come up. He's a dude with a really long hair, and he talks like this, dude. You know, blah 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 blah. He's got a great voice, a great way of speaking and explaining things, and I like his outlook. He gives a lot of good advice. Basically, I'm a fan. Not ashamed to admit it. I'm a fan of. I've met a lot of people going to trade shows and PAX and things like that. I met a lot of people that I'm a fan of, and I do fanboy out a little bit, but I keep it in here mostly. I'm cool. Probably. Anyway, so let's see. For this, I don't think we need to do. Well, okay, you know what? No, we can go somewhat crazy here, and I think probably the X670E-F, not the -E, is that you don't necessarily need to go -E on that. I think the -F is usually underappreciated, or if you don't want to go ASUS because of recent issues and all that, waiting for them to fix their processes and stuff like that until you're going to be giving them any money, that's not a problem. We have a lot of options here. But definitely, X670E, why not? Nothing wrong with that. I have to agree. Going to disable compatibility filter. Don't worry about that. It's just because. Oh, here we go. Okay, there we go. It's just because they force you to look at all of the applicable chipsets, and you can't deselect them. When all I really want to look at is X670E. Just high-end stuff. You're going to have a lot of options to add on storage. You're going to have a lot of I/O if you're going to be if you're going to have a lot of external drives or anything like that. Whatever. It's in budget, so why not do it? Not a fan of the carbon. I don't like the placement of the X16 slot. I would say probably the Mag Tomahawk would do the job. Not the best on I/O though, but you're not streaming or anything. So it really doesn't matter. I should have a question in the forum where it's like, how many give the number of USB devices you plan on connecting to your motherboard. So I just make sure you have enough, because God, there's nothing worse than finding out. See, this only has 6 Type A and 2 Type C, yes, but 6 Type A, and that just, to me, it just doesn't feel right for a $300 board to just have 6 Type A's. It's 8 total. I know what I'm looking at, but still. Gigabyte not really coming in clutch here. I'm not seeing much in the way of Gigabyte here, other than this white motherboard, which isn't going to match the black build that we're doing. I would love to go with this one for a white build, but that's not what we're doing. So let's just go ahead and go with the X670E-F. There are 0 in stock, and I'm upset now. Okay, so we have so far 2 people in a row who are talking about coding, right? And can you tell me why it is that I have the 10 in stock selected. It is checkmarked. Yet it brings up things that have 0 in stock. Or at least can y'all commiserate with me a little bit on how frustrating that is? I settled on something. I had decided something. I had made a choice. Let's just see this guy real quick, and then we're just going to move on. I always obsess over motherboards way too much. But to be fair, they are the backbone of your system. Everything connects with... Ooh, not bad, Asus. Good job on that. For a tough board? Wi-Fi 6E, not Wi-Fi 7, but it's fine, usually. I imagine you're hardlined anyway, maybe. But that's pretty respectable. Even though it's just 2 more Type A's, I know what I'm looking at. But still, it's a tough board. They're usually like 5 or 6 max. Okay. Tai Chi. Well, I'm looking at X670E boards, all of them, and I don't see the Tai Chi. PG Lightning, Pro RS, and that's it from ASRock. Oh, and the Steel Legend. No Tai Chi, unfortunately. Unless that's because it's EATX. Oh, there it is. And trust me, some EATX boards barely qualify. There's not even a standard for EATX, okay? This one I have used plenty. I should realize that if I'm doing a high-end board, I need to have EATX also selected. I like the Aorus Master X670E. It is a great motherboard. It's very solid. Also, it fits with multiple aesthetics because of the mixture of gray and black there. But just to show you, it'll be pretty obvious one of the reasons I like this thing is because I'm obsessed with I/O, okay? I don't like not having it, and that's a lot. That's plenty. Yeah, let's go with this. We'll need a case that can accommodate it, but most do. Most accommodate EATX, and this is not a lot of EATX. It's not that much wider than a standard ATX board. I fitted in a Deepcool CH560, which is not a massive case. We'll select that. Good to go. There's 12 in stock. All right, Micro Center, 12, not 0. Yes, I'm hardlined. I had a feeling. Okay. So I would say for yours, depending on... Okay, with all that stuff you're running, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I am super familiar with all of the different programs you're using. Have messed around in Unreal Engine a little bit, yes. But never Maya, Substance-Tainer, or Nuke. So I don't know off the top of my head what their general usage is when it comes to resources. So why don't we go with, a good amount of RAM, at minimum 64 gigs is what I would say. Now, let's see. This is where they have the thing. Memory profile, AMD Expo. Thank you, Micro Center. You did a thing right. And then we can go to our capacity and our speed and our cast latency. So, memory capacity, let's say 64. I've heard, and I can't validate this, just in the moment right now like this, but I've heard that it's usually better to stay to the 16 or 32 gig DIMMs instead of the different one where it's like 48 to get you 2 sticks of 48 to get 96 gigs. That with AM5 is a little wonky. Maybe that's going to improve with 9000 series. I really could not venture to guess. It eats resources. Okay. You want it all blacked out. It took me a second, but I got there. G-Skill Flare X5 comes with the AMD Expo profile, so you're going to have the right profile for the easy overclock of your RAM to its specifications, the nominal frequency or mega transfers per second. There you go. Okay, video card. We're only at $904 out of $6,500. Yeah, I mean, here's the conundrum, right? And we were discussing this at length earlier. 40 series launched 2 years ago. Just about. Give or take a month or two. And we're about 5-ish months away from the likely announcement and launch of 50 series, okay? Now, if you're looking at a $500 4070 or super or whatever, a $500 4070 super, it's not that big of a deal. If you're looking at a nearly $2,000, anywhere from $1,700 to $2,000 4090, kind of a big deal. So the option here is to get a stopgap card like a 4070 super for $599, whatever. That will still do a lot. Like, that'll still do a lot, but you're not committing $1,800 to something that will be, I wouldn't say deprecated, but like, you know, not replaced, but yeah, kind of in 6 months or so. But that's still very far away. If you want the max performance right now and you don't care, I don't care. It's fine. We do 4090 right now, and I did that recently for somebody else. It's not for me to decide. It's just for me to put forth to you as a situation you can decide on. What happened, Anton? I don't understand. What happened? I missed something? Everybody okay? Everybody's okay, right? What did I miss? You know, computer stuff. Asrock PG Lightning has decent I/O, doesn't it? It does. But, you know, I have personal experience with this motherboard, and I think it's good. Like, that, to me, sometimes influences what I recommend, because I can't claim to have personal experience with all of this hardware. But so when I do, I take that into account. And people said tough. I don't know. Sort of hit the, yeah, I understood. Should I do 4070 Ti Super? Sort of hit the middle. What do you think? You know what? Yes. And the reason for that is 16 gigs of VRAM instead of 12, and it's not double the price or anything. It's going to be a couple $100 more. That VRAM it could be everything for you. So that could be a good, and to consider that a stopgap, that can, you know, you can resell it, keep it for a friend or family member's PC, something like that. You know, we're still not going to get close to the budget here, I think. But yeah, even with the 4090, but we're going to go ahead and do 4070 Ti Super. I think it's an excellent choice. Not many cards will respond to the combination of the words Ti and Super. I remember when they first announced that, I was like, come on, that's what you're calling it? Really? Sorry, I'm just showing myself all close up, not the whole screen. Okay. But yeah, I wouldn't get a fancy, I would get a baseline one. And you said yourself, you don't really need, wait, what is it? WindForce, Gigabyte, WindForce. Yeah, sure. Match the Gigabyte motherboard. Why not? Or PNY. Both, either of them are $799. They both have 3 in stock. Maybe one of them's out of stock. I don't know. But for now, we'll select the Gigabyte one. The PNY is also, the Verto Ti Super is another good option. Yeah, and I know we're not doing the 4090 here, or that amount would be higher, but you got to understand, Micro Center is going to have some pretty good prices, or at the very least, it'll be at retail rather than anything over, you know, bumped up in price, things like that. You'll, you know, especially with you building it yourself, you're going to get a heck of a deal. Now, I feel the need, because you are, you know, you do have, it seems like you have some knowledge of this stuff. I want to explain why I will generally recommend the Inland Performance Plus over the more major brand names. So let's compare real quick. Let's look at the 4 terabyte versions here. So the 4 terabyte Samsung 990 Pro, great drive, you know, well regarded, reliable. This has a 2400 terabytes written endurance level, or longevity, you could say, okay, with about 7450 megabyte per second max sequential read speeds, 6900 sequential max write speeds, right? But this is what I want you to pay attention to. 2400 terabytes written for longevity. So if we look up the Inland Performance Plus 4 terabyte right here, it is much less in price. Actually, let me verify that. Where am I? Actually, no, it's not that much less. That one they must have dropped the price on that, because this is just $40 less. But it also is much longer in the longevity. 3,000 terabytes written. And I like that. To me, that's kind of something that's important personally to me. That's a subjective thing, I guess. But yeah, there's usually more of a price gap there. Not sure what's going on with that. Maybe because now you're seeing more PCIe Gen 5 drives, which is an option here, by the way. You could go PCIe Gen 5 with a crucial... What, are they just not going to have any here? P705. That's 2 terabytes. All right, just hit that right there. Okay, here's all the T705. So these are PCIe Gen 5. And I'll show you the speeds here in a second. But clearly it is more expensive. Yes. They only have 2 of these in stock in the 4 terabyte. I think that's a good number for price to capacity, generally. So this goes back down to that 2,400 terabytes written, but the speeds. Max sequential read speed, 14 gigabytes per second. Max sequential read speed, 12.6 gigabytes per second max sequential write speed. Now, this is an improvement over the T700. The endurance of that drive was not as good as this. This is better, as far as I recall. That's off the top of my head. I'm not, but either way, this is comparable. It wasn't before, if I remember correctly. So I would probably, because it's within budget, this is going to be very fast and very fast PCIe Gen 5 storage with a nice capacity to it. There you go. Luke Marshall, how's it going? Welcome. Jack Ram said, all good. Sorry for sounding salty. 7.5K is just under 5K USD. Jack, when was that? I don't understand what was said when. Don't really have the means to buy a lower tier card and then upgrade next year, so it really is one or the other, but I'm definitely going to wait a little while and see how Ryzen 9 goes. That's fair. Yeah. I see. Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to recommend that for someone on a $1,000 budget, of course, because then why would you be looking at 50, 80 anyway? You're going to look for the best price to performance you can get on your budget, and that's also fun to do those builds too, because then it's like problem solving, right? I don't think we need the one with the heat sink. Is there one without it? That's 4 terabyte. 1, 2, 2, 4 without it. There we go. That's the one. We'll select that right there if that's what you want. It was a while ago, yeah. That's the thing. Sometimes I just miss stuff in chat while I'm doing these. I get into this. I get excited, all right? Oh, there's a bundle discount. I guess it was with the CPU. Bundle this storage with this CPU, and you just got... well, I mean, that's not going to be valid probably for the 9000 series, but wow, that brought a 7950X 3D to 324? Hold up a second. I know what this is, but it's $699 at launch. That's a $700, originally a $700 CPU for $325. I mean, the price had already dropped to $529, right? That's just time. This was launched a year and a half ago, a year ago. Whenever they launched 3D Vcache chips, CES 2023 was when they were announced and launched shortly thereafter. That is nuts. That is less than half the original price. I was expecting this after the launch of 9000 series. Holy cannoli. All right. Cool. Look, maybe there's going to be performance gains with 9000 series. I don't think that it's going to be worth double the price necessarily. Some people will find that, oh, it's 15% uplift or 20% uplift in this specific application or whatever. Is that worth $350 to you? If it is, cool. Go for it. Get it. But like, damn. Okay. Now this isn't everywhere. This is at Micro Center, and I just stumbled into the bundle. That's what I did. It was a complete accident. But hey. That is pretty amazing. It is amazing. I probably wouldn't wait. I would probably just grab this. But that's me speaking without the knowledge of how the performance is going to be. It could be, I don't know, it could be revolutionary. Who knows? I don't think so. But like, I mean, it is a 3 nanometer process. Helps with heat output, efficiency. It is supposed to be a very solid. They're claiming like, what was it, 40% uplift in IPC, some crazy number. And IPC is arguably, as I mentioned in my 7800X3D video, IPC is arguably a more important increase than frequency. Frequency requires power and puts out more heat, okay? It requires more power, puts out more heat. So yeah, gaining in frequency is great and all, but what are you doing with those clock cycles? Raising your IPC raises the amount of instructions per clock cycle. So that means you don't have to raise the frequency. It's doing more per cycle. Yeah, but also early adopter issues is a very good point. I'm used to those. Not that I like them or anything, but we're old friends at this point. And unless you're the type that doesn't mind installing a BIOS update to get the new AGISA on there, you might want to avoid that. But the reason I tell people to wait is not just to get the latest and greatest thing. I've said this plenty of times. It's because of the discounts you might get on 7000 series. But that's already happening in this build. So you do with that what you want with that information. We're only at 2193, and this is already a bonkers build, but this is with not 4090, this is with the 4070 Ti Super. Okay, now you don't want, really, you don't necessarily want RGB. We can keep this, I would say this might be real classy for this build. Fractal Design North XL, you know it's going to fit the EATX, because it says it in the name. But also, like, look at this thing. Yeah, this started, guys, you should have seen it at Computex. I should have just done a video on all the cases that are copying the wood theme, because it was speculated that might happen, and yes, it is happening. A lot of case manufacturers are trying to get their name in the, get their name out there with, hey, we do wood parts on our cases too. Yeah, that's also a thing. I had Micro Center build my rower on 750X3D, 700X3D launch date. Nice. Okay, yeah, I don't know what I figured this one would be a good one for you. Don't ask me why. 6 of them in stock. That is more than 0. I was gonna say it's 6 times more than 0, but that would still be 0 if you multiply 6 by 0. Yeah, math wasn't my strong suit. That's why I like computers. They do the math for you. Okay. Big honkin' power supply, because even though if you're going to upgrade your GPU, that's great and all, you don't want to have to upgrade your PSU in the process, your power supply in the process. So let's get you something with a good chunky number of watts here. I honestly don't know where things are. I guess they gave the nominal power, power draw for all the CPUs, and nothing's too crazy. But here's the thing: 50 series it's all going up, all of it. I think there was a leak about the 5060 being planned to get like a 40 watt increase, which is crazy at that for a 60 class card. 40 or 50 watts is nuts. Even if it's just 30, that's substantial for that class of card. 1200, 1299, and 1300 watts and up. Should have waited on third-party reviews, but 500 to 600-ish FPS in 4K isn't too. That is insane, actually. What game is that? Are you talking about like Rainbow Six Siege or something? I was gonna be happy with an all-black brick, to be honest. We can still give it character. RGB is not the only road to having a PC with character, you know? So Seasonic's always a safe bet. Seasonic Vertex 1200, and we can go with the platinum rather than the gold to give you better efficiency. Now, I want to be clear though, and I've gone over this a few times, but I like to mention it now and then for those who didn't catch it before. 80 plus is not quality. It doesn't tell you reliability. It doesn't tell you anything like that. It's just efficiency. As an example, 80 plus gold means that at under 50% load, it is 90% efficient. So if it's going to push in 1,000 watts, or if it's going to push I mean, what's an easy way to say this? I mean, I don't know. It'll do like, instead of 1,000 watts that's giving your system, it's drawing from the wall like around 1,100. Okay, so that's 80 plus. That's what that is. You want to know about more than just that, you look for cybernetics certifications. But this is, Seasonic is well regarded. It's very reliable. They have the best warranty in the industry for power supplies. We'll just go with Seasonic. 1,200 watts should be plenty for this system. Right, NVIDIA? 1,200 watts should be enough. Right? Okay, good. And then we go to our cooling. Man, like we're blazing through this. You could totally add so much more to this in terms of storage. Yeah, you just probably buy 2 of these, by the way. That's what I was saying. Like 4,000 is already more than enough, and you're like, it's 6,500. You can get yourself like an Odyssey G9 OLED, super wide, super ultra wide monitor on the side there. Maybe custom keyboard, mouse, all that. Just kit the whole thing out. They sell desks and chairs. You get the whole setup with that budget. That would be fun to go to Micro Center and build a whole setup. That would be fun. I would love to do that. I would love to just work with Micro Center in general, but I don't live near one. That makes it difficult. Cooling kits. Here we go. For AIOs. We're doing fractal. You don't necessarily want to have your any RGB. Not a problem. Let me check something on the case, actually. Oh, I have it right here, don't I? I certainly do. Let's go to specs and cooling specifications. Fan bays. 3 top 120, 3 front 120, or 3 front 140. So you could put a 420 millimeter AIO, a 420 millimeter radiator on the front. And it includes 3 140 millimeter fans, though, but the AIO is going to include that already. But you could use, no, I wouldn't do push-pull configuration with mismatched fans. That's a recipe for suboptimal flow through the radiator. But let's go to cooling kits and let's look at 420 millimeter radiators just for funsies. We have fun around here. That's just what we do. They have the Razer ones. Oh, that's cute. We'll go to radiator size, 420 millimeters. There are 3 of them, probably just Corsair. Ah, no, the Asus. Oh, perfect. Are you kidding me? This is the perfect AIO. It's this one right here is designed for, high quality workstation style builds like we're doing here. No RGB, none of that. Really high quality fans. I believe these are Noctua fans. This is the Asus ProArt liquid cooler, and it is 420 millimeters of radiator there. You'll remove the fans that come with the case and have this on the front as intake, essentially. But there's your 420 millimeter rad right there. You could try to saturate this. It's going to be crazy. This is a really good cooler. 2200 watts at 240 volts, 3-phase for PSU is coming, I'll bet. Build Beaver PC character. What? TC got to go? TC? Wait, is there something I'm missing here? Nice, that looks perfect. Awesome. And they have 3 in stock, which is 3 more than 0 Micro Center. Wow. It's a bit of a waste of those 140 millimeter fans, but you could take them and set them as top exhaust, because if you look at the case, you can put 2 140 millimeter fans in the top. There you go. But only 3 140 millimeter fans are included. These are non-RGB, but let's see. The rear will take a 140 millimeter fan. You could also do one in the top, one in the rear, however you want to do it. But if you want all your fans to be matching, you might want, let me check this AIO real quick, what fans come with it. There's a version that they have like metal fans. I forget who they worked with for that. If it's not this one, then this one has Noctua fans. So Noctua fans, yes. So what we do is we get some Chromax Black Noctua fans. 140 millimeters all around means that you're going to be able to run them at a lower RPM and move the same volume of air as 120 millimeter fans at a higher RPM do. So yeah, let's get some Chromax Black fans for that. You can even do 3 120s in the top and a single 140 in the back. It depends on what they have in stock. Otherwise, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So let's go here, go to brand and Noctua. Bam. Well, here's what I would say. So these 120 millimeter Noctua NF F12 Chromax black fans. Put 3 of these in the top as exhausts and take one of the front fans as your rear exhaust. So these go in the top, and one of the fans that's already included goes in the back as your rear exhaust. There we go. We select that and we make it quantity of 3, and you are good to go. Sounds like a plan. Update quantity. So really quick, what we're going to do is I'm going to change the video card to the 4090 just to see what it would be with that. Because I hope upon hope, I wish upon wish that NVIDIA will keep the price of the 5090 to the launch price of the 4090, but I just don't know. I feel like maybe Jensen's a little lost in the sauce with all the AI data center success that they've had. And I don't feel like it's unfair to say that. Maybe a bit presumptuous, but unfair, I don't know. But we're swapping this to a 4090 just to see. Highest price. There you go. That'll narrow it down real quick. Okay. Let's just pick a solid one. Hey, why not another ProArt? There you go. ProArt. Oh, it's 4080 Super. They don't make a 4090 ProArt card. Sure, PNY. So this system, with everything there, 41.48 and 93 cents. You can still add on more things, like you can get some nice cable extensions to just dress up the build a bit, but you're not showing this thing off. You're not going to be having lights in there showing what the cables look like. I don't think that's going to be necessary. Plus, Seasonic cables are pretty nice already. You can get yourself, if you want to not get just an OEM code for Windows through my YouTube sponsor, VIP CDK Deals, use code BREAK25, yada, yada. I've used plenty of them. So has a community. They've all worked really well. Deals are great. And yeah, you could actually buy a retail operating system and still not even come close to maxing out that budget. Oh, they make gray now. Yeah, they do. Are you talking about for the GPUs? Yeah. If you want a gray one, I mean, basically, here's what I'm going to say. Because this is not being built by Micro Center, you have full agency to go there with your lists and just see what's there. You can look at other cases. Although I did sort of curate this list to match the fans that come with this, to match the radiator compatibility being 420 millimeters, all that stuff. Other cases support that too. You can go to their case section and they're all out of the box on the shelf. There's a sample of each one there for you to poke at, prod at, see the dimensions of it, because the Fractal North XL is XL. It's extra large. There are smaller cases that still accommodate eATX motherboards. You don't need to have a massive chonker of a case. That's going to be, let's be honest with ourselves, pretty hard to move once it's fully built. But yeah, get yourself a retail version of this if you want to. That means if you change out any hardware down the line or move your boot drive to another PC or whatever, your Windows license should be able to move with it. If you do an OEM one, it is locked to your motherboard. Right? Sorry, it's okay. You don't have to worry about it. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put Windows 11 Pro on here because, again, we're not even close to our budget here. And is there anything else I'm missing? You can add more storage while you're there. You can buy 2 of those if you want to. That'll fit within the budget. It's anything you want. I would probably do a Gen 4 drive if it's just additional storage, though. I wouldn't do 2 Gen 5 drives unless you're sure I can check whether your motherboard supports more than one. But I would do a Gen 4 drive, like the Inland Performance Plus 4 terabytes, something like that. Heck, let's throw it on there, and you can just not buy it if you don't want it. Inland Performance Plus 4 terabyte. I already showed you this thing has got great longevity. It's a really solid drive, great speeds, all that. And yeah, there it is. Now you have 8 terabytes of storage with just 2 of your M.2 sockets occupied. And we're still nearly $2,000 in your budget. There you go. Virtue. Brave took the freedom in building my own PC. It's all white, but I can get a steel and a GPU for $100 cheaper, but it's black. Would you do it? Yes, because I have experience in vinyl wrapping stuff, like a fan shroud on a GPU. You might not be comfortable doing something like that, but there are vinyl wraps that you can get that where they're semi-permanent, and it's not too difficult to remove. I've also painted stuff like that before, so I would just paint it white and get yourself a $10 can of spray paint and do a good job of it. Don't rush it or anything, and just make it a white GPU, and you saved yourself $90. But that's up to you. I wonder if I should build a NAS with the excess. That's a question for another stream, though. I haven't really done a NAS on here, but their pre-made NAS drives are, or at least ones where you maybe just add your own storage, that kind of thing. But they have their own, like, they already have an OS on there, and there's ones that have storage in there too as well. They've gotten really good, but it sounds like you're very much into DIY, so yeah, you'd probably want to make your own. All right, that's the build. Do you want me to switch it back to the 4070 Ti Super? I can do that. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's change it back. You know what? You decide for yourself while you're there. If you want to go with, let's go Ti Super, search. If you want to go crazy and get the 4090, you can. You're so far under budget here. It's like, you do what you want. Which one was I looking at here? I went with the Gigabyte one because it's a Gigabyte motherboard. And hey, there is a gray one if you would prefer a gray GPU to have a little bit of contrast in there. But really, while you're there, just look at your options. It's a wonderland in Micro Center, and I would not want to rob you of that by making all the decisions for you. I don't know how Little Linus walked around with that massive PC he had built. Yeah, that was crazy apocalyptic. I was like, dude, that thing is custom liquid cooled. He is out of his mind walking around in the street with that. Okay, here's what I need you to do. I know you're tired. It's 2 a.m. over there. I know. Here. That right there is a link to this build. And what I need you to do is this. I need you to go to the build, open that link, and then go to save this build. It'll prompt you to create a Micro Center account. You can either do that or just add it all to cart. Make sure you're on the right location for Duluth, right? Because the reason I need you to do that is that I don't save these builds, and whenever I go to clear it to do a new one, it clears the build. Even if you have the link, it doesn't save it. So just whether you add it to cart or you create an account and save the build in your account, either way, you do need to do that tonight because I'm doing this again on Tuesday, and there's usually at least one Micro Center build in every stream. I'm happy to help. Now, why Hello Darkness, my old friend Rurutu? Now I want to listen to the Disturbed version of that song because it is so good. Even Paul Simon was like, "That's you have that song is yours now." That's someone, half of Simon and Garfunkel saying that their song is theirs. That is a compliment of the highest caliber. Got it just saved? Heck yeah, there you go. The funny thing is, even though I know the link won't work later, I'm compelled to still put the link here. It won't do anything after I clear it, but whatever. I should create my own account and save every build. I haven't. Probably won't. But there it is. Okay. We got a lot done there. I even had time to rant in that stream. It was not something I would have normally talked about, but we got it done. And I'm happy that we did. Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And regardless of, I committed to this, even though I was like, yeah, Thursday one will probably be the last one till the 15th when they, no. We'll be back here next Tuesday and Thursday doing more of these because all I got to do is explain what's going on and people can make those determinations for themselves, whether they want to wait or not. And we can even do configurations like this one where, Michelle, you might wait for 9000 series or you might get, I don't know. That price on the 7950X 3D is bananas. It is crazy. It is less than half the launch price. I don't know what I would do in that situation. I'm not sure. Going to Metal Concert Friday. Very cool. Do you know who Limp Bizkit is? I don't know. Hayden, I'm suddenly wondering whether you're going to a metal concert or not. They had some tracks that were pretty, yeah, but like later Limp Bizkit was not what rap rock is more what it is, which was huge at the time. Limp Bizkit was huge at the time, but yeah, that was like high school days for me. Yes. You look tired. You need sleepy time. I'm fine. I'm good. But yeah, we are ending it here after that. But yeah, that bundle was pretty amazing. It is. It is. I will stumble into Micro Center for that. Yeah. Apocalyptic. I'd love to serve and even have Believe record cover tattooed on forearm. Wow. That's something. God, his voice is just, it's something. Yeah. Just it gets you. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Again, apologies for earlier on, but you know, it's out there now. Yay for VODs. But I appreciate all you guys hanging in there and hanging out with me and just being cool. Thank you for everyone being cool. I like when you're hanging out with cool people like you. We're the coolest nerds out there, pretty much. So I'll be back on Sunday with a gaming stream. Please join. That's only on Twitch. So if you're not following me on Twitch and you want notifications about those kinds of things, please do. It is free. Free to follow on Twitch. And I don't know yet what we're going to do. But I've been doing Super Metroid map randomizers, which to me are a lot of fun, but I don't know how fun they are to watch. So we've done plenty of those. I might change it up to something else. But I don't know. I don't know if we're, yeah, I guess we could. Let me see who's on, who's live right now. Live right now. I don't need sound there. Thank you. I don't need to hear how tired I sound. Yeah, I don't know. I am pretty tired. I think instead of going through the whole rating thing, we'll probably just call it tonight. And I mean, honestly, with me going later, we just have 15 people in the chat. And this, you know, it's okay. We'll do it again on Tuesday. We'll start and end at the proper time. We'll have more people. We'll raid then. But for tonight, I think I'm done. Thank you, Hayden. I appreciate that. And Gary, thank you for asking. I know you're always willing to jump over there and be part of it. But for tonight, we are done. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on Sunday or on Tuesday. Whenever you're here, keep an eye out for content on the YouTube channel. I'm finalizing at least one video that's going to be coming out very soon. And until the next one, take care.
Let's go, nerds!